references?
I do. I am old enough for it,
Okay.
but I never actually watched Gilligan's Island, so
What?
sorry.
You don't have to apologize.
Did I miss out on something in my life?
Nah, you'll be all right.
You know what it is? Having discussions with like similarly aged people at work with like young kids that like PEs like right out of college is like the common references that we all get. Because we only had so many shows to watch. It was like Gilligan's Island, Three's Company, whatever, and that's all we watched.
Yeah.
So we all get the same references, and now
there's
things
like
are
3 channels when you
exactly.
Mm-hmm. And you had to watch whatever was on one of those channels. That's the only. I tried to explain that to my I tried to explain that to my 7-year-old the other day, where I was like, "Whoa, look, this is how it worked when we were kids. You don't just decide you're going to watch 2 seasons straight of Bluey. You don't get to pick that. You have to wait till every Saturday morning to watch the next Bluey."
Yep.
Hey,
it's
Cody,
true. But hey, now we live in this beautiful world.
If there's a lot of background noise with your feed,
with my mic.
No, Cody's.
It's probably me. I'll mute.
Thank you.
All right. Well, hello everybody in the chat room and on the show.
Hello. Wait, what is that?
Mr. Howell?
No, there was like a reference there. Hello there.
El Jefe.
I don't know about that because I don't really know what the fuck I'm doing. So I'm not used to this side of the table,
I would say that you have a plethora of experience doing what you're doing.
It's just Cody has fucking like 4 screens here. I mean, he left a document of like what to do. For the most part, I know what to do. I just never really done it.
I literally have a text box, a text document right there with arrows. I lined everything up. There was like, on this one, on this screen, click this.
Yeah,
on
like,
this screen,
join
click
the
that.
Call with the calendar invite.
I tried to
on
explain
the
it to him, Cody.
What fucking big screen? There's fucking 3 big screens.
I just realized we have 2 Codys, and one of them's not Cody.
Right.
Yeah. The world does not need any more Codys.
2 Codys don't make a right. No? No. All right. Well, yeah, I'm sitting in the captain's chair, which is really awkward. Whatever. We can talk about whatever we want now.
Yeah, let's do it.
I can just mute Cody. Hey, dude, you're out of the call.
I was going to say,
dude.
Cody's muted.
Yeah. We
right.
can just kick him out of the call, and then, dude, there's some new
Since
UFO
Scott's not
videos
here,
got
should we
released.
just talk about Scott's continued lack of any vehicles that we care about?
We can.
We can
His
talk
move
about-
to the dark side with Subaru.
Did he buy a Subaru?
What?
Did he buy a Subaru?
Yeah. He did.
What? So okay, let's run down the quick list of the cars he sold.
We've gone
within
through the
last...
series of
Wait, hold on.
events, right?
Are we recording at this point?
Yeah, we're recording now. Yes.
Okay. And streaming.
And streaming. Yeah.
We are live.
F
it, we're live.
So I mean, over like the last 2 years we've been talking to you guys, he's had a.
Jose, are we going to do a 3, 2, 1 countdown? Like,
Yeah,
are you going to do like when are you?
Here.
Man, he's just calling you out all over Jose.
Cody too. Come on, man. We don't do that shit when you're not here.
3, 2, 1. Fuck it.
You
We're doing it
want a
live.
countdown? You show up.
3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Jose's in the captain's chair.
You're the captain now.
Yeah, I'm like
I'm
not. Cody's not Captain Phillips anymore. I am.
Do I have to salute you?
However you want to salute, bro.
Oh, Captain, my Captain.
Okay.
Right. But yeah, so we're talking to Express Rally guys. They're on the show again. Thanks for joining.
Hey, thanks for
speaking of
having us
on the show again. Yeah, I was just doing some looking at the last time you guys were on, and I think you guys get a smoking jacket at this point. You're like the 5-timers club.
You're an ace. You guys are aces.
So just so you know what that means, it's on fire. Like we'll give you a jacket that's
Oh.
burning. That's why it's smoking.
Well, they're aces.
Not
now.
like a cigar
fighter
lounge
pilots.
jacket, but an actual smoking jacket.
That's right. No, it's burning.
Yeah, you know how fighter pilots on their 5th kill, they're aces.
They're aces.
Now these guys are aces.
You guys, congratulations.
You're an ace in my book.
Oh, shucks.
Yeah.
No, but we're just briefly going to go over Scott's vehicle history from like the last couple years that you guys have been on the show. I mean, he started off with the Land Cruiser, the 80 series.
Yeah.
He built that thing up.
I'm like trying to go back through his feed.
Yeah,
I'm trying to find it. It's gone. It's been a long time.
I mean, that thing had 2 builds on it, 2 great builds.
And he didn't even
the
drive
first
it.
build was pretty epic.
He had it built and never drove it.
He drove the first one a couple times, right? The first build.
Yeah, like the
Once
first version of it, which was, it was something.
Version 1 or version 2, he drove one time probably. So he had that thing built up, right? By Ozark.
Jason Harris. Jason Harris got a hold of that deal and completely rebuilt it. That was a brand new 80 series with a diesel engine.
It had like a diesel swap, like a 5-speed swap. It was like the ultimate
complete
80 series.
Complete color change all around, even the engine bay. And
it had all the boutique parts
on
there. It had the Delta parts on there.
It got taken apart down to every last bolt and put back together better than me. That thing was just silly.
So he had that first, and then I think he got the FJ40 after that, right?
Yeah, he had an FJ40 while he had the 80.
Right. And then
took it out for one event.
Yeah.
And then didn't drive it anymore.
And it was a little tough on his left leg.
Oh,
he was complaining. He was limping at camp.
Pedal.
It's true.
And then after that,
true.
See, that's where it gets kind of sketchy.
Did you say it was harder on his third leg? What?
Dude, that's usually a compliment.
Inappropriate, guys.
Usually get a tip of the hat to that, usually.
Well, no, he can still get the tip of whatever he wants. But,
just the tip, Jose? Just the tip of the hat?
Just the tip, normally. I mean, that's, from my experience, it's just the tip.
Let's play a game.
Yeah, but then he had, see, that's where I don't know.
He have like
he bought a Porsche.
That's where it goes off the rails
or something.
Yeah.
It gets blurry because he had 2 Cayennes.
Yep.
Both were 958s.
No, yeah, but
he had the 200. And that was a Heritage edition too. That wasn't just like a plain Jane 200. It was a Heritage.
The Heritage edition. So that was like the last run of the mill. No more Land
I mean,
Cruiser.
it got drove hard on a couple of trips, just not by him.
Yeah, it was like the camera. It was the camera crew car, right?
It was the camera crew, and then my wife drove it in Moab, and it was. I mean, she fell in love with a 6-figure car. And then
imagine that.
After that, it was another Porsche.
Magic Lakes. Sorry,
Lieutenant Dan.
And I think that's been it. I think that we're caught up to now having a Subaru.
So he sold all those other vehicles, right? They're all gone.
Subaru.
Yeah, the 80 sold, the 200 sold after having it for 3 months. The Porsches have sold, the 40 sold. Yeah, his most recent love obsession has been his road cars, and those were both Mercedes. He had a dad wagon that was super, super nice. He had an AMG, still has the AMG. And then he has a Subaru, one of the new adventure ones.
Sounds like he has a lot of advice in selling vehicles. Do you think you could help me with selling a 2018 Frontier, possibly?
Runs like new.
I don't know that he. I don't know that he does.
It is.
Dog.
I told you, dude.
That's
Memorial
the
Day
rumor.
2025.
That's the rumor. Everybody's talking about. I'm selling my truck for some reason. I don't know. So you guys are on today because you have some new events or adventures planned. Is that?
Yeah, well, and we just got back from two big ones too. We just came back from Death Valley in February, and then this is our second time Death Valley. I know we did a podcast with you guys just before the first one, right?
Yeah.
And then we had our first cross the border trip down to Baja in March. That we were down there.
Jose, you better pick up some tips.
Days.
You committed to planning the Baja trip.
That's a one-way ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we wanted to come on and share a little bit about those trips. They were, It was epic, guys. Have all of you been to Baja before?
I have.
No, I went once
You
in
have,
a
okay.
dream, but
Tijuana.
Again.
So I'll move
I
out
can
of the
go.
way here.
Yeah.
This is a good example of what our camps look like behind.
Yeah,
me.
Look at that.
Dion's background image is actually from our trip.
nice.
So I don't see like
That's-
any of the bartenders or servers with like the whistles in their head, and they're like, where were those guys? That's
How close
so-
is that to Revolution Street?
How far do you have to go to get some chicle? I don't understand.
we had our own Revolution Street because our chef more than one time had an entire cooler dispenser mixed up of like several gallons of cocktails, and they were damn good.
Damn, dude, we just keep getting one up.
I think what was that last one? It was like that last night at the hot springs. It was like 6 gallons
watermelon
of like mezcal,
something.
watermelon, mint, something or other. That was ridiculous.
Jose,
It was good times. I just don't remember the name now.
Well, there's probably a reason for that. Jose, you're not allowed to go on any of these trips with these guys because you would not come back. You would
what happened to Jose?
You would start your own podcast. You'd be like, look, guys, we don't need those chumps.
It's like Succession, dude. Everyone's just crossing each other.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
and you know what? I wouldn't blame you.
I mean, it was pretty amazing. You know, like I know we've always joked about, you know, when we started the events, we had Outback Steakhouse. Never had the bloomin' onions. I know that was
I still think about that.
a
They
rumor
lose
going
money
around.
on that, bro. They lose money on those.
No blooming onions, but I will tell you guys, this trip we had Overland Chef Jesse Houston. I don't know if y'all follow him on Instagram. He's been doing a bunch of expos and stuff. We actually pulled Jesse and his significant other in to join us for Baja. Like, what was it, Dion? 3 weeks out from the trip, I think. It was like I was still in California. Making phone calls, trying to get him in, and man, that was such a win. We won so hardcore on that because I mean we were stopping at oyster farms like right on the beach and eating fresh oysters. We bought fresh redfish like right as it was coming in from the ocean. From the fishermen. It was so cool. We were buying it off the boat and they were filleting them on the boat. And he's just came up with these amazing meals every single night. So like we've continued to elevate the amount of like quality of food that we're getting for every event, which has been really, really rad. I know that's always been a highlight of our events, but no blooming onions, but super, super fresh catches.
Jesse's.
So,
I was going to say Jesse's just super legit, man. He's a legit chef that ran kitchens at like top end, like high end restaurants, and he just got burnt on it and decided to do something new. And so he's basically become an outdoor chef.
We have no chance.
He brings a level. He brings a level of food to these deals that is just. I mean, there's a couple of guys out there doing it, but it's very few and far between. I mean, he's next level.
So
well, especially at our scale.
Yeah, he's feeding 30 people a night. You know, the first night he made. We got down to Baja a night early to meet up with him and do shopping and allow him to do some prep. He didn't sleep a wink the night before the event started because he was up all night cooking. Wow. He cooked like 15 pounds of birria. And so we had birria queso tacos the first night. He used that meat to make fresh tamales another night. He made pizzas on the beach another night. He actually brought a pizza oven with him. It was ridiculous.
If any of our listeners go on these trips, they're never going to go on any of our trips.
Why do we have you guys on to make us look so bad?
You get hot dog broth on our trips.
Well, I don't want to brag.
Cold hot dogs.
Yeah, cold hot dog and cold hot dog broth.
I don't want to brag, but Cody's pretty well known for his Frito
Captain
pies.
and Coke.
Well, no,
mountain balls.
Yeah, mountain balls.
Yeah,
but he'll take. This is what he does, and this is like the highest level of culinary skill we have. Is he'll take Fritos and he'll take that whole bag and then put chili and cheese on top of it. So that's what we're used to.
I mean, that's actually I don't discriminate.
Chili cheese Fritos are amazing.
I don't discriminate against a good bag of Cheetos or Fritos with some chili and cheese and onions in it, man. That's
Cody, wherever in
nothing wrong
jail,
with that.
that's like jail food, dude.
You don't want to know what he was in jail for, though. He was. That's where he learned it. And we'll just we'll be very tight-lipped about why were you in jail?
The tag off his mattress.
But let's go back to the beginning of the trip. So logistically, like, how was it like just getting into Mexico? Was it like a nightmare? How everyone perceives it to be like?
I think
I'll tell you. So it was really cool because Dion's traveled down to Baja his entire life. This trip was my very first experience crossing the border. And I got to do it a couple different times because Dion and his family and my family went down and crossed the border a day ahead of schedule to hit, the Costco in Mexicali, and go do some like preliminary grocery shopping, stuff like that. And then we had a house that we were staying at right off of the Colorado River that apparently runs down the peninsula, which is super rad.
Dion Justin Strong's place. Yeah, Justin Strong place, Baja Oasis, which is a pretty rad spot.
It was super cool.
How many rigs went on the trip? How many rigs did you have on this one?
How many did we have? 12?
We had 13.
Okay.
You can just throw a number out there. Nobody's gonna count. Like
we had 13.
Well, we just can count all the trucks in your back.
I was gonna say, Dion, move your head
out of the way, and then we just count all the trucks.
Well, I think we were missing one vehicle there, but everybody else is there.
Okay. Yeah,
so 12 plus 1.
Okay. But so crossing the border.
Yeah, we had a couple of trailers too.
Did you guys all meet up?
Crossing the border was. Yeah, so we it was actually really cool because as for those of you that haven't crossed the border, it's super intimidating, right? And leading up to this, Dion and I hosted multiple calls with all of our participants, talking them through like, what does this process look like? What can you honestly expect? What are the do's and don'ts? What are the things that you have? All that stuff. And like when I say multiple, I mean like we had it scheduled out like 8 weeks out, 3 months out. We had another one 4 weeks out. Required calls where we were going through like all of the operational pieces and logistics of all the moving pieces, and then when it came down to the day, it actually went really, really, really smoothly. We met in Calexico at the Walmart parking lot. It's like 1.5 miles from the border, maybe 2 miles from the border. We split the group up into 2 groups to just kind of downsize our group size. And then as you go through the border, I mean, really, it's just kind of following the line, following the person in front of you. If you get pulled over for a check, you get pulled over for a check. And then, you stop and park and you go in and get your passes, your visitor passes, essentially, for being there for however long you're going to be there. And then you get in your car and you jump back on the interstate and you go. It was actually really, really smooth and simple. And that's all because of the planning that Dion did going into the trip. Like it was nice to experience it the day ahead of time to like know this is kind of what to expect, and it was really streamlined. I'll tell you, it was honestly more intimidating going back into the U.S. side of the border because the wait times are way longer.
Hours.
Yeah, I mean, it was ridiculous. We saw people jumping the wall like as we were in the line to get back into the U.S. That was super interesting. But yeah, I mean, it was a really cool, smooth experience, honestly, and makes me feel way more confident crossing the border moving forward.
So you had 13 trucks cross the border, no issues. How many days was this trip planned for?
11.
It's technically 11 days, 10 nights.
Oh, damn. That's a long time.
Wow.
I thought they were going to say like 3 or 4 days or something.
Honestly, like
it was a long-ass trip.
Because we were all, Scott and Aaron and I, when we were talking about planning this trip last year, we were talking about what's the length. And I was fighting for more days. Scott was fighting for less days just because, this is the first, I think, Aaron, this is the first Express Rally trip that's been more than 2 nights.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're typically like 2 nights, 3 days.
Yeah.
Right? Your guys' trip.
3 days, 2 nights, right? And so, but, to me, like 2 weeks is the amount of time you need to do Baja, right? And it was 11 days, but we were moving, right? Aaron, there were days where we were probably pushing the group, more than the group wanted to get pushed in a lot of ways to get to our next spot, because we had a lot of ground to cover. The first couple of days we burned a lot of pavement just to work our way south, but after the first 2 days we didn't touch the pavement very much. And there were some long days off road to get to where we wanted to get. Like that spot in the background there, that's 50 miles on legit trail from the nearest road.
Yeah. So that's a whole day right there, just getting to that point.
And that photo that he's got in his background, we actually drove up to that in darkness. You couldn't see anything. You just heard the waves crashing on the shoreline. So it was so cool to wake up the next morning and then this is your view. Every other night, we pulled in with daylight.
So with those 11 days, did you guys map out to do the whole Baja, like the whole?
No, yeah, you definitely can't do the whole thing in 11 days if you want to have any kind of fun. I guess technically you could, but
we only went the entire time, right?
We went about halfway down. The furthest south that we got was Hoja de Liebres, which is the lagoon where all the gray whales calf down by Guerrero Negro. It's right. It's at the border of Baja California Sur.
Yeah.
So it's about halfway down. That was our furthest point south. We got down there. We booked it down there because we were kind of at the end of the gray whale season. So we booked it down there. Our third night, I think. Yeah, our third night was actually in Hoja de Liebres. We had a really killer spot all the way out in the lagoon at the end of the salt works. And we went and interacted with the gray whales the next day before we headed out to get to this campsite here. I think for a lot of folks, that was probably the highlight of the trip. Aaron, it was the first time Aaron had been there, so he could probably speak to it better. But it's a pretty, no matter how many times you've done it, it's a life-changing experience every single time.
So I'm assuming you guys are going through numerous towns and I don't want to say villages, but is it like, how are you guys perceived? Like a group of what is overlanding?
A bunch of badasses. That's how we're perceived. How it
is? Like, hey, check us out.
Targets for the cartel, bro.
I don't want to think negatively like that.
No, I think
is it like, who are these yahoos?
No.
So I think there's, definitely especially during COVID, as Baja's become more popular, and with people posting every little remote spot on iOverlander, over the last few years, the locals in Baja have started to get less inviting in some respects of folks coming through. It used to be that if you were driving through one of these ranches in the middle of nowhere, because most of the trails that we're running, these are roads that people use to get to their ranches and to conduct their daily lives, right? Even though they may be fun trails for us to drive, and some of them are actually pretty damn rough, and they're a lot of fun, but these are the roads that people use every day, right? So as more and more people have started going down there, and people that maybe don't have the same level of respect for the ranchers and folks that live there, and folks that go like blasting by at 80 miles an hour and the Raptors and side by sides, and don't really have a lot of regard for the people that live there and use these roads on a daily basis and just tear them up. That's started to create a lot of friction. But if you're respectful to folks, and you make sure that when you are on one of those remote trails and you're coming up on a house or a collection of houses or a little village or something, that you slow down and you're friendly to people. The people in Mexico in general, but especially in Baja, are so damn welcoming. I mean, they're some of the most genuine, welcoming, salt of the earth people you'll ever meet.
Especially if you come wheeling in with like a couple blooming onions ready to go, and you can just like kind of kick those out. I would think that would do a lot, to help out your, passage through,
You know what's funny though?
It would for me. If somebody came up, man, I just want to go through your backyard. Here's a blooming onion. Fuck it.
Here's an example of how quickly things change down there, right? So when I was down there pre-running some trails for the trip and trying to connect some areas that I had never been able to connect before, but I knew there was cool trails on both ends. I just wanted to try to figure out a way through. I went out there with a buddy of mine back in November, and we connected some trails that I was really excited to take the group on. And sure enough, we went through the first part of it. We ended up actually getting stopped and having to pay a toll to go through somebody's property, which was fine.
Yeah.
I had no problem doing that. We're using their roads. These are the roads that they maintain. But we got to the spot that I expected to go, and things have just changed, right? And there was a huge metal gate across a major artery through this ranching area that was just locked up. And I went down and, I found the local ranchers, and, I had a conversation with them best I could. And, they're just like, no, we're not letting anybody through here anymore. Yeah. So we had to actually go back another way. And we actually had to having to pay to get through the road, to get a different way to get back out to the highway, to just go around. Yep. I mean, it's hard to be mad about it, because I think that, they have more of a right to be mad and concerned about people coming through and using their roads that they have to maintain in a disrespectful way. So you just kind of chalk it up and be as polite as you can, and hope that the next folks do the same.
Well, a lot of the roads that Dion's referring to are from Baja 1000. So after Baja 1000 goes and that trail's published or that route's published, people will go down there, like you said, and just rip roaring through this stuff. But a lot of the land that you're traveling through is farmland. It's beautiful. It's absolutely scenic. But these are the roads that people travel on daily to get in and out of town, to get where they're going, to get the supplies that they need, and stuff like that. So it totally makes sense.
You hear that, Casey? You can't just pull out a Sawzall and cut people's chains and cut down fences and stuff. Just for future reference.
What's funny is that you see these 12, 13 rigs all overbuilt for these roads, and then you just see like a clapped out Camry just drive right by.
Oh yeah,
the people that just
dude, it's totally true.
The funniest I think story that there's two actually from this trip, and I think Aaron will laugh when I get to the second one. But the first one was the second day was the first day that we kind of were easing folks into the trails down there, right? We had a lot of distance to cover. We spent a few hours, probably close to 4 hours. It was on Kamohe Wash, right? And we're out there, right? And everybody's like, this trail, it gets used in races fairly frequently, and it's on the Cia Cortez side. And it's sections of it are just really whooped out, alternating, just you're just getting knocked all over the place, right? And we had a semi truck that was carrying some huge, I think they were water canisters or something, or fuel drums.
He's like, get on my way.
It actually caught up to us at one point. And we had to make sure that we got everybody in front of it and off on another trail out of the way. It was pretty funny. And then on a separate part of the trip, several days later, we were on the Pacific Coast working up the way, and this guy, his name is Dan, right? On the bike.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this guy's pedaling
Biker
on a
Dan.
bike. Yeah, Biker Dan, by himself. I think he had come up from Argentina or something crazy like that. He was working his way north, and he caught up to us. We were having lunch, and then we left and we passed him. And then we had some issues with one of the vehicles. I think it was the van was having trouble getting up a section. And all of a sudden, Biker Dan comes up, and we see him catching up to us. This guy on a little mountain bike, loaded down with all his gear, just by himself in the middle of nowhere, passing the line of built rigs. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, not an adventure bike, guys. No motor. This man is literally pedaling
on a mountain bike
for his life.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, when he had stopped at our camp, I think on night 4 or 5, or the morning of day 4 or 5. And we gave him a bunch of fresh fruit and stuff to help him stay hydrated, and then we just kept leapfrogging each other. Yeah, he was making his way up to California.
Wow. Anybody that I've
Surely
ever
he's there
known
by now.
or met named Dan, I always
Dan the Man.
No, Thunder Dan. Nobody gets no
Thunder
reference. Oh man, that's when you're
No,
getting
Dan the
old.
Man is what I would.
Yeah, that's right. What's up, Scott?
Hey, look who joined us. Don't worry, man. We already went
through your catalog of vehicles. You missed it. You missed. What are you on a Porsche now? Air cooled? Are you there yet? Or not yet.
Are you there?
Well, I appreciate it. Thanks for the warm welcome.
As always.
We don't have to waste any time talking about my garage. It's not too exciting these days.
I mean, if you want to.
I mean, the first 20 minutes was trying to get through the first 12 cars you had, but.
No, things are pretty boring in my garage right now. Yeah, we've got an AMG GTS, and then I have a Subaru Outback Wilderness. That's
super boring, dude.
I mean, in fairness, I mean, we were ripping on Scott's lack of off-road vehicles, but Aaron's modified his to the point where he can't drive it half the time now.
Yeah,
true.
Breaking action.
I'll tell you this. I love Jason Harris and Ozark Overland Outfitters. Like, in the work they did on my 80 series. I mean, anything I've sent to him, he's done a good job on. Lesson learned is I have to have a vehicle to drive every day that's not like nuts modified, because the within 1 week of getting my vehicle back, my 80 series, we took it on an event and then it sat in front of my house for a month because the starter went out. I don't have the ability to fix it, nor do I want to spend the time to fix it. And it was very clear to me, like, who am I to have a vehicle like this? I'm not Jason. I'm not mechanically inclined. I don't want to fix it. So I can handle the sports cars because they're easy to send somewhere to get repaired. But, like, I need something to drive every day that is nice and boring and I can put absolutely zero thought into it. So, yeah, anyway. Who cares about my cars? I'm bummed I missed Baja, but seeing all the media assets,
you missed out hardcore.
We're gonna end up down there again, Scott, and we gotta make sure you got something to drive next time.
Yeah, you're gonna end up on our version of the Baja trip, and it's gonna be nothing like you guys. It's gonna be.
I mean, they're talking about hot dog broth.
Yeah, you get hot dogs and hot dog broth. I mean,
we're gonna call it Jose's farewell trip.
Yeah, exactly. Because I'm not going back. I'm not gonna be able to come back.
Well, I will tell you this: I'm really liking the new Tacomas. Which means I think the new 4Runner is very promising. But what I'm the most excited about is the new Lexus GX.
So I saw the new Tacoma in person. I was at an expo.
Were you at expo?
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. It's for sure pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I hope the frame's stronger.
Yeah, it's boxed now. Like they addressed all those issues.
Rear disc brake. What? Oh
Too
my
soon.
god! Wow.
Box frame. The seat, it has shocks now.
Funky seats.
No, it has shocks now with the seats.
Yeah,
so it's like
all right. Hey, at least you got to do the disc brakes
frame is probably
first.
a good thing.
But
yeah, let's talk about things that didn't go super smooth on Baja. It was the perfect trip, but we broke two mid-sized trucks in half and exploded my radio on a beach 40 miles from the nearest road.
What trucks broke in half?
So both of the vehicles that were pulling trailers, they had significant frame damage.
It's probably the whoops.
One of them,
right?
the bed actually, like, the fiberglass split in half.
We ratchet strapped
and then
together.
Yeah, we totally ratchet strapped that bad boy back together. And I mean, that was like what, 3 days in? That was
before
the
day
whales?
2. That was on Calamahoya Wash, towing the trailer over those whoops. Did that one.
Yeah.
And then the other one was towing an Opus. Probably rallying a little too fast on not rough trail, but rough enough to.
See, that's another point against trailers, dude. I don't want a trailer now.
Well, here's the thing.
It's not a point against trailers because both we had two full-size trucks, mine and one of the participants, both AEV Ram 2500s, and they pulled both of those trailers, both the trailers, perfectly fine.
And the 200 series.
Well, yeah,
the 200 actually.
You had AEV prospectors. Of course, it's gonna pull it, no problem, dude.
Yeah, but we also had a 200 series on it that pulled with no issues. Like, we were alternating the trailers off of the trucks And the 200 series pulled with no issues. It was beautiful.
It's a night cruiser. It doesn't
deep,
die.
Through deep sand, beach sand too. It was pretty cool watching the 200 just like fishtailing through deep beach, like really deep sand on the beach with the trailer behind it. I'm sure
the mid-size trucks would handle the whoops and stuff. You just have to adjust your driving manner. Like you can't bomb those whoops with when you're hauling a trailer. Like,
well, I don't know, man. That first trail on Kalamahue,
yeah,
like we were not going fast on the trail. We were going. We were like, that was our first real trail day, and we were taking it pretty damn easy. We took a long time on that trail.
Yeah.
And
okay, I'm back off the trailer train. I'm back. I'm out.
It hurt my soul.
Yeah.
Matt, can your Tesla pull a trailer, or do you have a trailer hitch on that?
Give me a couple of weekends or whatever, and I'll fabricate something. Yeah.
Oh no.
No problem. And tie downs. You got enough tie downs?
Tie
You'll
straps.
make it work.
Yeah,
I can make it work.
You'll make it work, dude. Just drill right into
it sounds like Matt is taking some hints from somebody else on this call and picking up vehicles that don't belong on the trail, and is going to start missing trips.
Okay.
Yeah, if you guys haven't heard, Matt.
What happens first? The Frontier's back running, or a Tesla has a hitch?
I think the Tesla gets a hitch first.
I will tell you on the Nissan, man. We had a Nissan Pro 4X on the Baja trip, and man, Sam gets the driver award on that trip, man. The way he drove some of the technical sections of trail in that Nissan was pretty impressive.
Was it?
There were also several moments where it was like, "Cool, 0 fucks given, going."
Yeah.
Was it the current gen or the second or the last gen Frontier?
I think it was previous.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think that's what happens when you buy the Nissan. All of your Fs just go out the window. Like you sign them over when you buy the truck.
Yeah, because the truck's gonna be fine.
He just drove it well, though, man. There was some sections that other what you would think would be way more capable vehicles were, having some issues, and he drove that thing straight through it all.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like Matt was down. Dude, what were you this weekend?
Where was I? I don't remember. It was a long weekend.
So you guys were down there 11 days. Like, what was the overall takeaways from a trip that long? Like, I mean, it's 13 rigs, 11 days. That's like a lot of food. That's a lot of logistics, a lot of fuel.
I mean, Aaron, you tell me, but I thought, like, from a logistical perspective and that side of it, couldn't have really gone better. I mean, we didn't really have any logistical issues. I mean, we broke a few
other than
trucks.
2 trucks breaking in half. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Nobody died, right?
That's not logistics, though, or is it?
If you can't make it to your next stop because your truck broke in half, that sounds like logistics.
But they made it work.
Well, I think the way that Dion had planned the trip, like we planned space in there for if we ran into issues. The reality is like, while there was some things that happened to the vehicles, they didn't literally snap in half, right? But was it something that you're like, that's going to really suck when you get back stateside and start talking to your insurance company? Yeah, that was a reality. But overall, like, the vehicles still got through everything that we did. I think the overwhelming piece was every single person that came to that event, they all had different expectations, right? I think, Dion highlighted the whole whale excursion thing that we did. Any person that's ever said they've been whale watching, they haven't done it this way, especially if they've gone in the States, because legally you can't do it the way that we did it. But the way that these preserves do this is absolutely amazing. Like, my 7-year-old daughter actually, no, Matt, come on, man. My 7-year-old daughter actually got to touch a baby whale. Like, how cool is that? Like, in its natural habitat, actually got to experience what it was like to interact with whales in the ocean. We got to see dolphins too. That was pretty rad while we were out on the boats. But I mean, honestly, like, it literally could not have gone better than it did. Even with a couple of things that we saw with some of the trucks, I mean, everybody had a phenomenal time. The food was to die for. It truly was. But I mean, the cool thing is everybody got along so well. Like you guys know, whenever y'all do this stuff, there are people in a group that can make or break a trip, right?
For sure.
Like
for sure.
we've all had that experience. We had an amazing group of people that had such good camaraderie. There were a couple of nights we all got super smashed, thanks to Jesse. Dude was just pouring mezcal in people's mouths. It was shots. Shots were like saucers. It was like a saucer of mezcal. He's like, "Here, take a shot. It's fine."
Yeah, he had all his deli containers that he's using to prep food and stuff, and he just started pouring shots in them. And he had like a whole tray of like sliced oranges with chili on them.
And I bet you the nights or the days you guys had like the hardest time on the trail was probably like the coolest nights around the campfire because you guys went through all that shit, and at the end of the day you're like, dude, this
well, I mean, the night that we pulled up at where we were going to be going out to see the whales, that was I think night 3. We pulled up and it had been super cloudy for a lot of the day, so it was really overcast. It was really windy for a portion. And then the sun came out right before it was setting. And every single person was down at the beach right next to the water, just completely mesmerized by the sunset that was happening in front of us. And you looked around, if you like look at the photos from that night, that was the night that we did pizza. It was phenomenal. But if you looked around at all those photos, the amount of smiles that you saw and just like disbelief of like, this is where we're at in this moment in time was just so cool, man. It's truly one of those things that you're like, you can't believe I was there just 2 months ago.
I was going through, it's funny you say that, just the amount of smiles going on. I was going through my photos the other day, and that evening, like I just kept taking pictures of people's faces because they just had the biggest grins on their face.
Some of our trips, I ended up like, deleting a bunch of pictures.
Like,
I don't even want to think about that. Nope. Yeah. So that's good. Good for you guys.
So those are fun. So those are already 2 big trips this year. You had Death Valley, you said earlier this year, right? And then Baja. So what's the rest of the...
Yeah, we had Death Valley. We had Death Valley beforehand, and then coming up in August, we've got Moab. Looks like we may be actually extending that trip. We're working with the BLM office right now to maybe extend those days instead of just doing a regular 3-day, 2-night thing like we have done in the past. We may be looking at like a 5 or 6 day event out in Moab, just depending upon what the time frame looks like. So that one's going to be a good time. Last time we did Moab, it was at the end of February, so it was like bitter cold. Now we're going polar opposite. It's going to be hot. But school's going to be in session, so it shouldn't be super busy at that point in time. And then we will be headed back to our stomping grounds that we haven't been in over a year at this point now, where we'll be in the Ozarks in the end of October. So that one will be a 3-day, 2-night excursion through the Ozark National Forest.
Wasn't your other international trip supposed to be this year, or did that get postponed?
Yeah, we set a long-term goal on that one, and we knew that if we were going to go for a long trip, we really needed to test the waters a little bit closer without having to deal with logistics of shipping vehicles, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So Baja was a really, really great test run for what does it look like to do a long event for us. And honestly, it couldn't have gone better. So I think with that under our belt, I think it puts us in a really good place to start looking at what do actual logistics look like of getting vehicles shipped for people, renting vehicles through Land Cruiser Heaven, all of that stuff for that possible trip down to Columbia.
So, you briefly referenced, like, it seems like you guys are obviously doing some planning, months in advance. Do you take into consideration, like, the weather and in case
Yeah, they read
something
the Farmer's Almanac, dude.
that you obviously the most up to date Farmer's Almanac. You probably have it delivered on a monthly basis. And as far as alternatives, do you guys have like a contingency plan? Like, oh man, it's lightning and thunder and storms. Let's do this instead. Or do you guys not plan to that level?
Matt, it's overlanding. Don't be a pussy.
I drive a Tesla now.
He drives a Tesla now, so he doesn't know what the hell's going on anymore,
I'm a big puss. I can't. It's just in my nature.
He checks the weather from the Tesla.
Yeah, on the app, he brings up the 10-day forecast.
I wait until my Tesla tells me it's okay to come out, and then I come out of my house, and I go to work.
I actually have a question about the whole EV vehicle thing. So if you're out in, let's say, like California, where they have rolling blackouts and stuff like that, what happens when you need to charge your vehicle?
I've rolling blackouts. I've had one blackout in the one blackout because I think somebody ran into a transformer and knocked it over in my neighborhood. But rolling blackouts, for me, it hasn't.
Bumblebee or Optimus Prime? Like, do we know which transformer they hit? Because that's going to depend. I mean, that's going to matter.
It was Starscream.
It was Megatron.
The better angle on the EVs out here, at least where I'm at in Missouri, is like all our electricity generation is coal powered. So unless you actually have your own solar panels that are enough to charge your EV, you actually have a coal powered.
You're not really helping me.
I do have solar, and I did anticipate owning an electric vehicle. So I was just bragging because I've only had it a week. It's cost me $5 to run this week. It tells you on your phone, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's solid.
You know what? Their electric vehicles are extremely Teslas in particular, because now I see them. Now I'm very much aware of my brothers, and it's essentially like you see those old photos from like the '60s, and they're talking about the Volkswagen, and it's been around since the 30s or 40s, and the most popular vehicle of all time.
What's the people's car?
The Volkswagen, that's right. And so it's pretty much that's how Teslas are out here. There's just
they're the new people's car.
I think it's the new people's car.
I can't afford being that.
But either way, it's not. As far as a commuter, and I don't know what you guys do as far as a daily commute. I drive the same exact mileage every single day, so it makes a lot of sense to just have this vehicle. Essentially, I pay. I'm already.
You're
paying
saving
for
money.
I'm saving a ton of money, and it's a blast to drive. It's a blast to drive.
I'm looking at doing the same thing, but not EV. I was just planning on like upgrading my man card and was going to go with a motorcycle.
Are you married? You have kids and stuff? Like, because
I am. I do.
Wait a minute. One, I was thinking the same thing.
He was planning it.
I settled for an electric vehicle.
Brittany signed off on it.
No, she signed off today.
Oh my God. Well, then maybe I should move down south, and I could have gotten a motorcycle. That was what I said.
But also my commute's like 18 miles round trip, so it's not. It's not something that I'm driving a long ways.
You guys have you guys actually have
like
weather.
Seasons and shit.
Yeah, seasons.
We have nasty weather.
I could ride a motorcycle 11 months, 10 and a half months out of the year. It's the same. There's hardly rains or whatever. And I still had to settle for an electric vehicle.
Matt, I have a motorcycle now. And you said if you buy a motorcycle, we're gonna go riding every other weekend.
Okay, well give me a chance, Jose.
I remember when I was a kid.
I've ridden 2 times now, and once without falling.
I'm waiting for you to get some experience.
So I'm batting 500. All right, that's Hall of Fame figures, dude.
That is pretty good.
I remember when I was a kid. My dad had a motorcycle for about a month. He traded a generator for this motorcycle from a guy.
Nice.
And so I remember he had it for like a month, and I would get rides around the harbor because we lived on a boat down in the harbor and we were on the beach. And we had it for about a month, and it was the greatest thing ever. And my mom made him sell it.
That's 100%. My dad did the same exact thing. He had it it was like a Honda. I don't remember how big it was. And then next thing I knew, the Honda was gone, and we had a giant box of fireworks. But they were cool illegal fireworks.
Good trade.
Good trade. Illegal fireworks.
For me, it was good because there was like a giant box of Roman candles and like those little tanks that kind of moved and then shot stuff. Like it was pretty rad. You know, it was always
awesome.
it was always the 4th of July every weekend for like
I'm pretty sure
a couple of months.
I'm pretty sure Fontana was popping off this weekend, right? With Roman candles and everything.
This weekend, you know what? I stayed inside. Tesla said stay inside, so I stayed inside.
Tesla said stay inside.
And I didn't want to like upset my new overlord. Like, Matt, you stay inside.
You don't want to upset Elon?
I don't. I was like, yes, sir.
No, don't upset Elon.
I saluted my car and I went back inside.
Matt, so to go back and answer your question, yes, I read the star signs, and that's how we plan our events.
Oh, okay. Astrology.
No. So we plan our event calendar honestly by looking at the like master overland calendar. If you were to just Google search like overland events 2024. That's what I usually will pull up and schedule around that stuff. So it's not going to be around the same time frame. That way, if we have participants that are wanting to participate in something like that, like Expo West, that just came up, I wouldn't schedule something that same weekend because those are huge events, right? But also we're looking at like how can we have a presence at those events also. So we want to make sure that we're available for those timelines. And then also depending on where we're going to be, we look at things obviously like what's the season look like there. Death Valley, I don't want to go in the middle of the summer. That would suck. So we go in the winter instead, where the weather's actually really freaking nice. We actually had snow up to my knee in a section of Death Valley when we were there in February. It was so freaking cool. It was absolutely the coolest. Because we don't get snow like that here. So it was really cool to experience that in some place that's usually hot as hell. And then, like Moab, I usually will try to like do a tandem event, like that's going to piggyback off of one, and it's going to be in a nearby region. So like Moab, Colorado, or New Mexico, Colorado, something like that, where we can hit two places. And this year just happened to be that Moab makes more sense to stay there for a little bit longer, so we can hit more trails, because you guys know going out there, it usually takes a day, depending on your group size, to do one thing. So spend more time, get to do more, mark more things off of bucket lists.
Yeah, Moab. Have you ever been there?
No,
Case, have you been there before?
Negative, Ghost Rider.
I think Cody's the only one that's been there. Yeah, I haven't been there either, but that's another bucket
What?
list item. No.
Yeah, I know, but it sounds like it's
We suck, dude. We suck.
Yeah, bro. We're like
these guys suck.
we're the lame version of you guys.
We're total posers, dude.
Hey, we're the Wish version.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, I like that. That's gonna stick.
We're Wish Express Rally.
Exactly.
Hey.
It's like, I thought I was supposed to get Outback. No. Yeah, you're getting food Outback, but we don't know what
Yeah,
you're
right.
Outback.
Get on back there. Get on back there.
Hot
Your
dog
food's
broth
eaten.
is right out
Yeah,
there.
the hot dog and hot dog bra is out back
That's it.
somewhere.
All the hot dogs are gone, but there's still plenty of broth.
So two more events this year, and then just two more events, but that's only like 6 months, and each one probably takes 3 months to plan out. Probably.
It will. Like, there was a huge lead up to Baja. Obviously, there's just a lot of behind the scenes work that Dion put into making sure that went so smoothly. And even all the planning that we did leading up to it, there were still some things that we had to change last minute. But it ended up working out for the best. And then you make note of that and make that part of your plan for the next go around. One of the things that Dion and I were talking the last day of Baja, we got up before everybody else, and we're just kind of like taking it all in. We're in this beautiful like oasis, tucked away in some mountains, and we were just like, dude, wouldn't it be rad to like do Baja but really, really hard, like do all the really nasty, gnarly stuff that people don't want to go back into town. They just like good luck if you make it back to the States. And so
all the trails
I think
that I knew all the trails that I knew we couldn't do with this trip.
Yeah, with some of the vehicles that we had. So we want to do Baja the hard way. I think is what we've decided we want to call it, or some variant of that. And so we'll probably do a little bit shorter of a trip, but it'll just be like hardcore wheeling the whole time down there doing some of those tracks, which is going to be pretty rad. So yeah, we're definitely in the planning phases for. Yes, I like that. I like that name in the chat. The Sicario Rally. That's fantastic.
Well, damn, I guess someone's gonna die.
That's gold.
It's like 10
We're
people
not going to
went.
talk about that part.
That's in the fine print.
9 people came back. Yeah.
That's in the fine print.
There'll be disclosure agreements, NDA signed. It's going to be fine. Yeah, so we're definitely in the works for 2024 season. But we definitely want to close out 2023 with some remarkable events, going out to Moab and just getting back to kind of our roots. You know, we started in the Ozarks, and Ozarks are still one of those hidden gems that we have here in Arkansas that we're blessed with, that you've got a lot of versatile terrain. You've got a ton of water crossings that most people don't get to experience out west. And so for those of you that are listening, we invite you. Come see what it's like to actually experience true water crossings.
Just so you know, we have water now.
Yeah.
It's been raining a lot.
Yeah, I didn't even notice, but we actually had some snow melt here.
It's true.
That's right. If you look at like some of our local lakes, they're like full of water again, and
like we have flood situations
it's
that are
not like
happening right now.
it's not like 25 boats.
It's getting dangerous up in here.
It's not like just 25 boats in a circle, like in the same little 50-yard square area of water.
It's
you know?
100 yards.
Yeah, exactly. We got water.
No,
Yeah.
but you know,
There's.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, you're definitely not wrong. We experienced a lot of terrain change in Death Valley. You know, like leading up to Death Valley, and last year with all the flooding that happened, a lot of those roads were shut down. Like 190 was shut down for a really long time. Titus Canyon's still closed.
Yeah,
they're talking about not even opening that up until next spring.
A lot of the northern part of the park is closed off. Like Tea Kettle Junction, all that
Yeah.
stuff is closed off. Like you can't get to any of that stuff.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, I made a really good contact up there that's a highway patrol officer for Death Valley. And I think he's been there for 17 years or something like that. And we were talking through some of those areas, and, you know, like Lippincott's open, but you can't do racetrack. You can't do Tea Kettle Junction. So if you go up Lippincott, you just have to come straight back down Lippincott. So it's an up and down.
Is that the? I always get that and Titus confused. Is that the sketchy one, the Lippincott?
Yeah, Lippincott's the fun with the shelf roads. That's the one that you want to do. If you go to Death Valley, Lippincott and Defense Mine are the two that you want to go and do.
Defense Mine was the deal. I mean, we ended up down there because all the other stuff was closed. But man, that was not only the trail itself, but what you find when you get up to the top was pretty incredible.
Yeah. When did I go? Was it December? I don't know.
I'm
It was December, right?
December.
Yeah, I went in December, and dude, I was there a couple of days. It was great. We stayed at Charles Manson's place. Dude, I had a dream.
Oh, that's when you were seduced by a ghost.
Yeah, not seduced.
He got ghost humped.
You were seduced by a ghost?
It was just
He was
extreme
being
dry
watched.
humpies. Like, because I don't know. I mean, I don't know about ghosts. I've
It was
never
a
been dry
ghost
humped by
watching
a
him
ghost.
sleep.
I wish it was that, but it was actually I dreamt that I was getting kidnapped by these women and they weren't going to kill me. And someone else on the trip had the
So it
same
wasn't a
dream.
nightmare, it was a dream.
Yeah, it was my dream come true. No, but someone else on the trip had the same dream as I did. So, dude, we were at Charles Manson's place.
Look, I
That's
don't
very
want to
sure it
have
was
to
a
do the
dream.
math for you. I'll just leave it out there. You guys know what happened, right?
I didn't drink that night.
Exactly. That just made it more real. You can't even claim you were drunk.
The volume's up on one of these speakers. Okay, there you go. Yeah, Cody just showed up in the studio with a with a plate full of food. Thanks for offering, dude.
With an RX bar?
No, it's not.
And McDonald's.
Yeah, but yeah, man. So I mean, I'm assuming just like all your other guys' trips, it's catered. You got full, photo and video that you guys give to your participants, right? Like you give all that stuff. Yeah. See, we're not gonna do any of that either. We're not doing that either.
Stop at a local gas station. Make sure you get your Fritos, your can of Hormel chili. Boom, done.
Some Velveeta cheese and
Oh, Velveeta.
It's not even real cheese.
That's the high-end cheese.
Is it?
Yeah,
Velveeta.
Is it though?
Dude,
oh yeah.
Are you sure about that?
It is in my house, but I live in Fontana, so I don't.
We do homemade mac and cheese with this Velveeta American cheese, shredded cheese mixture. Like you melt it all down and put it over the
fake
noodles.
and real cheese
So
mixture.
good. Yes.
Sounds delicious.
That sounds kind of like Provel. That's the fake cheese we have here in St. Louis.
This is what me and my family does. We go to McDonald's and then we mix up that fondue that he was talking about and dip everything in it.
No,
and
you know
then...
what would be good, dude? If you substituted the Velveeta in Cody's recipe.
Did you just hear me? I said I fondued McDonald's, dude, with fake cheese. Come on, man. Think about that. How disgusting that is.
No, but
that's
on
the response I was looking for.
Alternate prism side of the prism, it's like if you substitute.
It's a prison?
Yeah.
What's the opposite side of a prison?
Oh, let me tell you about the opposite.
The wavelength. Wavelength, right?
I don't know.
Look, we went from
intrigued.
fake cheese to having real cheese. Imagine a block of that In-N-Out cheese. And
Do I? Go on.
And putting that in Cody's.
Dear God. Yes.
Actually,
there'd be no room
cheese.
for Fritos. It would just be a bag of
It'd
cheese.
just be a bag of cheese and chili.
It's going off the rails real fast.
Dude, that was like
Cody's
50
not in
minutes.
control. He can't stop us.
Bro, we didn't even start on the rails. What are you talking about?
My drink's empty. I don't know if I'm equipped to deal with this.
That's where it starts, guys. Cheese. Start talking about cheese and dipping things in it, and it just goes off the rails.
But yeah, so where can if people are interested in going to the last two events of the year, where can they find you guys at?
Yeah. www.expressrally.com. You can check us out on our Facebook page, Instagram page. If you want to see, Scott's myriad of vehicles that he has at Express Rally, Scott on Instagram.
Yeah, just follow his Instagram.
I think that Subaru could make it.
Just follow his Instagram. I mean, we'll take it places. We took the Porsche places. It was fun. Dion, what's your handle? BAM Family Adventures, right?
Yeah, BAM Family Adventures. It's just all the trips that my family with my wife and kids go on, including a lot of the Express Rally stuff. So there's a lot of photos and video and stuff up there from Baja.
Damn that, Dion, that sounds very familiar. Are you stealing Wi-Fi off me? Never mind.
I mean, if you got some really strong Wi-Fi, I might be. But
I'm gonna give him this router that I have.
I'm out in Southern California fairly often. But
this leads back to a conversation I was having with Jose. But, yeah, wait until I get this router. Woo!
And these spots, there's limited spots, right, on all these trips. Like,
are there any open spots now?
Yeah.
Yeah, are there any even open spots available?
Yeah, there's limited spots for Ozarks and Moab. We do limit size because obviously that changes the dynamic of the group.
Why is that?
And there's also, stuff changes. Permitting requirements, that's a big one.
Yes.
We do have to think about like the whole tread lightly principles pieces when we go out and do permitting with BLM or United States Forestry Service or National Park Services. They've got certain requirements. I've actually had to like update the first aid safety certifications that our group has to be able to do these events in certain places. We had to do wilderness first aid for Death Valley this year, which is like a 2-year
we don't have any
certification through Knowles. Yeah. They've like started increasing their certification processes for some of this stuff. So it's very interesting. And I guess they just keep it dynamic and keep you on your toes definitely as you go through the process. So I think more groups are trying to do similar things that we've been doing for the last few years. And so they're just trying to make sure that we're mitigating our impact so we can continue to keep our public lands public.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I remember when I was filling out the permit for Mojave, the most awkward question was like, are there any generators on the trip? Like, who the hell is going to carry a generator, dude? Like, why is that an issue though? A generator.
Fuel.
Noise?
Loud and fire.
Fuel,
But you're in the middle of the desert.
But they,
Fire hazard?
Fire hazard, yeah.
But
Yep.
So you can have propane fire pits, but you can have a
If
generator.
you're going to burn it down, they want to be very specific about how you burn it
It would have been
down.
really weird.
How you burn it down.
Are there any Teslas on this trip?
Also,
Negative.
what's your guys' take on if it's like around 9 o'clock in the evening, you're blasting music.
Not blasting.
Not blasting. You're just playing
Not even
music.
You're having a good time.
You're having a good time. It's 9. It's not even 9. It was what, 8:30?
Yeah.
It was 8:30.
8:30.
You're in the mid. You're
We're
in the
playing
middle.
good music.
Good
Everybody
music.
was into it. It was like Fleetwood Mac and like all kinds of good stuff.
Open desert
It wasn't just
You
like
weren't in the open desert. You were in a public camping area.
on
But it was-
BLM land
yeah, it was
In an
isolated.
open desert.
in the open desert.
Yeah.
Was it so we got Karen.
Because you know what? I would have walked,
Yeah,
if
we did.
roles reversed, I'd have walked over and said,
Hey, can I
what
join
are
you?
you guys, what are you guys doing? I'd love to hang out.
Yeah.
This sounds like a great party.
Nah,
Can I
we
hang
got
out?
we got Karen. Then we were told to you guys are playing the music too loud. Can you turn it down?
And it wasn't me, surprisingly. I was going to go over there, and I actually texted them and
though
said,
you did text
turn
me.
Turn your music down.
I think Karen's coming over, guys. Turn it down.
It was 8:30. It was 8:30, and it wasn't blasting. It was pretty
No.
loud, but I mean that was
Did
uncalled
you turn it
for.
down?
Look, I would have played whatever she requested because I had a satellite signal, like, oh,
Yeah,
you want to hear some Tribe Called Quest? Sure, let's do it. You
Oh,
want to hear
hey,
some?
do you
you
guys-
want to hear Deep House? Let's do that. I don't care.
Do you guys run Starlink on your trips now?
We
have-
actually, the last 2 trips we've run Starlink, and it's been pretty stinking rad.
Yeah, that's we were exposed to Starlink on our last trip to.
We're exposed to a lot of
We
it.
were exposed to a lot of things.
Was that a Marvel character? We were exposed. Starlink came down, and he
But
was
yeah.
like, "Check this out."
Starlink is pretty crazy, man. Like
It was good. It was
it's-
cool.
It's pretty crazy. But
Yep.
all right. So Overland Express Rally, right? Or Express Rally.
Overland.
Express Rally. Yep.
There's 3
yep.
words there. Eventually,
It's
you're
our
gonna get
overland
it.
portion.
Yeah, just type in
We've-
those 3 words. It'll
Yeah,
send you to the right
Jose
link.
will get those 3 words in the right order at some point.
All right, guys. Well, thanks
Yeah,
for coming. Go ahead.
our SEO is pretty good, so you can just Google Express Rally. You'll find it, but it's expressrally.com.
Type in Express
Matt,
Rally Scott's Garage.
you've got to. There you go, Matt. If you wanna go on a road rally now, since you're getting
Oh,
rid
yeah,
of
it's
the
Tesla.
Nissan, you could bring your Tesla, I guess.
I totally could. I don't want to embarrass you guys, just. But yeah, he's laughing. Yeah, dude, give me an opportunity to wreck my Tesla in a cool way, and I'll think about it.
It's the safest car, so you'll be all right.
No, I'm talking
I'm
about
sure
destroying
Scott
my
would
car.
enjoy it.
Yeah, no, I'm
No,
not
you'll
worried
be.
about me. Yeah. That just gives me more incentive to just drive it that much harder. That's all.
Yeah, we told Matt, like, hey, you're driving like one of the safest cars. Like, oh, dude, so I can drive
What?
even more like a dick?
I can do more reckless.
Exactly. Like, oh, there's all these safety features. Like, are they slowing me down? Like, off. Yeah, it's great.
All right, guys. Thanks again for coming on the show, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks,
Thanks,
guys.
Thanks, guys. Fun as always.
All right. We're still streaming live. That will be the end of the recording. I don't have a notepad, Cody. It's 105.
I'll have to figure it out.
Yeah, clap. There.
You
Yeah.
got the zebra sticks.
Well, we don't have them. We never got them.
Yeah, that's true. We
We'll
never got
have,
it.
we'll
I
have to
can't-
get some of those.
I can't even find the audio of that. Like, we did talk about zebra clacking things.
No, but we definitely have to make it on one of you guys' trips. I mean, every
We've
time
been
you guys
saying
talk,
that for years.
I know, but
Yeah, I
every
was
time
gonna
you
say,
guys talk
Jose,
about
you
it, it's
said
like,
that every time.
you know what? I'm gonna make it happen.
Some people have.
I will
jobs.
make. I'm divorced now, so I can do whatever the fuck I want now.
And I'm unemployed,
Yeah,
so
you
I have
can.
time. But
And I have a Tesla payment, so I won't be there.
So bet your money on me.
Baja
that
the hard
I'll-
way?
Yeah.
Jose will be there.
I'll be there. I'll make it before any one of these guys get to it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Baja the hard way. All the hard way, right?
That's
the whole
the
way.
hard 8s, the hard 6s.
All hard.
Yeah, I think it's a horn bet. Isn't it around the horn?
All the hard ways?
Yeah, the horn bet.
It's a horn. Yeah. All right.
Hard 5.
I'm gonna bet hard 5. Hard 5.
All right, guys. We'll I'll edit this tomorrow, and as usual, I'll send you an email once it gets uploaded to the media host, and it'll be ready for download on Thursday. And then, Thursday or Friday, we'll start promoting it over social. So
I'm sorry, I didn't know you were back in the captain's chair.
Well, I didn't know if you remembered that part. And since you're not going to be the one doing the editing, I figured I should talk about it. But yeah, thank you guys for joining us. Thank you to Jose and Matt.
Thanks a lot for having us.
While I was at Dallas.
You got it. You know, there's no chaperone, so things get.
There's some things said that were top notch.
I regret nothing.
But yeah, thanks guys for coming on.
Thanks, us.
guys.
All right,
All right,
guys.
thanks,
Appreciate it.
guys.
Good
Good night. You guys.
See ya.
Do I have to clap right now so you know where it's at? Yeah. See the spike on the sound waves. You guys need a break or what? Just roll right in.
I'm good.
Yeah. Pee break. Well, you guys keep on rolling. Talk shit about me while you can.
I was gonna. We have the interviews from Expo. It's probably about 30 minutes. Do we want to just play those, or do we want to talk? Do we have something to talk about and then play those after? We can play them and then talk about them like we've done in the past. So
we can do that.
There's about 30 minutes of audio, and then or we could just
talk about Expo.
Talk about Expo for a little bit, and then just clip
And
all
just-
the ones at
yeah,
the end. You want to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Is Matt gonna go pee?
Yeah, I gotta go pee, but you guys, I wasn't there.
Well, no, we want you to participate in the conversation.
Oh, 3, 2, 1. I'll be back.
And I gotta pee.
gonna go together?
Now,
We're gonna play
me,
swords.
me and Jose are fucking stuck in Delaware now.
Yeah. Where are you, dude? Like in heaven or what?
This is really weird.
Yeah.
I couldn't find.
Wait.
I couldn't find my. I couldn't find my freaking Delaware screen, so I just clicked on one.
All right. I mean, it's better than having that
I'm over here.
chakra towel or blanket hanging behind you. Like the womb of the Mother Earth or whatever that represents.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of good that did me.
Hey, dude, you got what you. Hey, you guys were playing with fire and you got burned. All right.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Well, you're good now.
That's all right. I got good results.
Yeah.
How was it going down on Monday?
There wasn't any traffic. There's just one slow Subaru that was holding up everybody, but like 2/3 of the way down, it realized it was slowing down everybody, and it just pulled out of the way. And but no, it was no issue. I think if we would have left a little later, like if we would have got on the road around like 10 or 11, it probably would have been an issue.
Yeah, after 10 usually.
Yeah, but
That's when it gets real bad.
But yeah, I mean, Casey and I, a buddy of mine, Ray, and Zen, we all went camping for a quick overnight trip. I took the dirt bike, guys. The fake real Ghost Rider came out.
I got to witness the real Ghost Rider firsthand in all his glory.
And I didn't fall this time.
Ripping on second gear.
Second gear the whole time. I even hit third gear for a little bit.
Yeah, for about 100 yards.
For like 100 yards, and I'm like, fuck this. I'm going back to second.
This is too scary.
This is too much.
Yeah.
But yeah. You want to switch now?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was good. Guys.
Oh man,
Wayne,
the seat is all
is your
hot.
seat? I was gonna
The
say.
seat is all warm.
So
juicy.
me and Jose were just discussing how I got to hang out with the real Ghost Rider
The
this
fake real
weekend.
Ghost Rider. Yeah, I got into third gear, guys, for a little bit.
Nice. All right, are we ready to roll? 3, 2, 1. All right, I'm back in the captain's chair, and I got to say that the Jose, you need to get something checked, dude. Your butt should not be this hot. Why is it so hot here?
It's his ethnicity, I think.
Caliente culo de caliente.
Caliente culo.
So you want to talk about your trip, your weekend trip, and then we'll talk about Expo?
Yeah, it was just a quick overnight to Big Bear. I met up Casey up there. He found a yellow post campsite.
No, it wasn't a yellow post.
Oh, it wasn't.
Me and Zen took off Saturday. I left a little early from work. We went up there and drove around, and it was just
packed.
A
dude.
madhouse.
Yeah.
Oh my God! And people were camping everywhere they could possibly camp. Anywhere they could fit a car, they were parked camping. And anyone that hadn't found a spot was driving around frantically, just searching for a spot. And I went down this road that I knew there was a yellow post on, but I knew there was no way it was going to be open, but maybe there'd be something past it. It's like a dead end, and there was a nice little open, like little spur. It was a pretty cool little spot, I guess. I mean, nothing spectacular, but we could have fit probably another 3 rigs, maybe if we did it differently.
At least. For sure.
Me and Zen got out there Saturday night, hung out, made dinner, went for a little drive at night, and then woke up and hung out until Jose and Ray showed up.
Yeah, Ray's a buddy of mine from jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
He beats me up.
Oh my God, we have humongous news. The first Tacoma ever to come and hang out with us and go wheeling with us.
What?
He drives a Tacoma.
Oh, did he know about us before hanging out? I mean,
no.
Okay, that's probably
we told him we said you're in now. You have to come on all the trips now so that we have credibility.
Someone's got to make this.
It's fully kitted out too. It's got all the accoutrement.
Yeah, it does.
Accoutrement. So did you wheel it all, or did you just do the bike?
No, I just rode my bike.
So you parked the truck at camp and then went to. How was it? How'd you feel?
It was great, dude. It was the dirt bikes are the greatest thing ever until they're not.
Yeah. Until you got to pick them up off the ground.
Yeah. No, but dude, it's fucking great. Like I had a blast. It was like what, 2 hours, something like that. We rode around. Drove around.
We were up near where 3N14 hits 3N16.
So it was all just
is that Crab Flats?
Holcomb.
No, there's that Big Pine campground, and then there's that new staging area that they put in.
Oh, I haven't
that
seen
we
that.
had stopped up. Yeah, we stopped there when we got up into Big Bear when we did Jose's run from from Hesperia. So we're up near there. So we just did 3N16, and then it kind of loops around, comes down Paul Leak Canyon, made another right back to 3N14, and then back up to camp. So just a big loop on some service roads, but the service roads are not. They're not just dirt roads anymore.
No, they're all rutted out, man. Like rutted out.
Exposed rocks and shit everywhere.
Rocks. But it was pretty easy doing on the bike. I mean, again, I wasn't hauling ass, so.
But are you feeling more stable and comfortable?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I wasn't pushing it, right? Like I was just riding within my comfort zone, and I almost fell once, but I got intimidated by a group of gladiators we're in front of.
Oh, with swords and horses?
How were they dressed?
Yeah, I mean, if I saw a group of gladiators coming at me, I'd be like, "This is not a good place to be."
Or the best.
What about
slow down, guys? Yeah. Where are you guys at?
Do you watch gladiator movies?
Well, and it was that you had to move over, and it was that section of road was pretty jacked up.
Yeah, but I was leading the pack, which was even more like.
That seems bad.
I mean, look, that's good, and semi-knowing like the trails you were riding, I think that's like a perfect scenario for your skill advancement or whatever, because you're on dirt.
Yeah,
and dirt's unpredictable, especially if you're still getting used to throttle and stuff like that. And it's mostly straight, so you can kind of pick your points. Like when you feel like you want to grab throttle, or you want to maybe pick something off, like maybe a small little out turn, or you know what I'm saying, and get adventurous. But yeah, I think you probably got a couple more runs like that, and then it's time to run out to the desert.
The real Ghost Rider comes out.
The real Ghost Rider, that's when your skull face and your shark eyes come out.
What is this real Ghost Rider? This is like the third time you guys have mentioned
he had to go through some mud too.
Yeah, that's the YouTube channel I showed you guys where that fucking crazy Swedish guy goes like 200 miles an hour.
Yeah.
That's his YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's not that fast.
He tries to get pulled over and then outruns.
He outruns cops and fucking he's crazy and he's just had like his 20-year anniversary.
You know what that dude is? That dude's married to someone he doesn't want to be married to. I'll tell you that. I can tell you
it's one extreme or the other.
He's either has mad skill or he's in a very unhappy marriage.
The only reason he has that skill is because he's the whole time he's like, look, dude, if it ends, it ends.
I'm done.
I'm not saying that from experience or nothing.
I mean, that crazy fucker does like wheelies like at 120 miles an hour.
Yeah, he keeps pushing it because he's trying to end it, and he just keeps getting better.
But yeah, I'm the fake real Ghost Rider.
Okay,
that's my.
Got it. Okay.
No, but
we just did that quick little 2-hour loop, came back to camp, and then we just sat around the whole rest of the time.
Partied.
Yeah, cool. We didn't get too crazy. But for me, like Matt,
no shark eyes.
No.
It was just relaxing, just chilling under the awning. Yeah, bullshit.
But for me, Matt, riding the dirt bike, I'm not. My throttle control, I'm okay with it. It's more my braking that I'm scared of because
rear brake first, always.
I didn't even touch the front brake this time.
Don't.
I just
plan on the only way you know how to stop is rear brake.
And what's so funny is it's the opposite on a street bike.
That's the thing.
Because traction.
Yeah, but on a street bike, if you
use fucking squeeze,
if you go rear brake first on a street bike, you're gone.
Yeah, you'll lock them up.
100%.
So I had that
on a street bike, front brake 80%.
Yeah.
Only hit back brake when you need that other 20%.
Wow. So they drilled that into me in that rider course I took. So when I was going too fast the first time, I hit the front brake.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because on dirt it's the opposite. On dirt you kind of want that.
You want to drift
slide,
around a little bit, especially if you're hitting a turn or something and the rear starts slipping on you.
Yeah.
All right, you grab a little throttle and you just kind of power out of it.
And on a dirt bike, if your front wheel is off camber in any way or in a soft patch in any way, the minute you hit that brake, you're gone. It washes out.
That's exactly what happened. I was mid-turn, and I fucking hit the brake, and I high-sided that shit.
Yep. So that was
foot down, rear brake.
Yeah, on the dirt, rear brake.
That's you turning left.
Yeah,
whatever.
No, but
on the dirt, rear brake. On the front brake.
I was letting the engine brake do more work.
Good call.
So
yes.
My thing is too is like I want to really learn how to ride a dirt bike, and I don't know if like the way I'm doing it now, if it's good fundamentals.
You know the best way to do it?
Ride with somebody who's better than you.
Is get behind Matt. I honestly, like when I first got my dirt bike, I'm not even kidding. When I got behind my dirt bike, and we've talked about it, there's that video on our YouTube page from 2013 or whatever. I was just like, all right, I'm gonna follow him. And we would get in these groups, and it was like, okay, all these people have similar bikes.
I can do it.
He's going this fast. I'm going to do that fast, and then he's going to make this turn. There were times, especially like in Glamis or Pismo, where you're like, Matt was great at the kick turns, right? He would just a 90-degree turn, and I'd be like, oh shit, I'm going to have to find another way around.
you're
you
90
also
more like 45.
I'll do 3
you
laps.
You also have that cushion, like if I fall, it's sand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, where he's riding, it's like, that's boulders and sticks and rocks and shit.
Plus, being in the dunes, there's no penalty really if you miss a turn. I mean,
just keep going.
Realize that you're cresting, and if I take a snap turn or whatever at the top, all right, don't take that snap turn. Maybe just ride the top and go over, or whatever. There's no penalty. Not as big a penalty for missing something.
Even trail riding, I've done trail riding with you with my brother-in-law Jason, who's a really solid rider. Riding with other people, we were just like, okay, this is the pace he's at. I'm going to keep that pace,
but it's also watching technique. Yeah, you can see
people lean and where
the way you're describing me, which is like funny. Thank you. But my buddy Brian was the same, and he would ride. He's like 7 or 8 years older than me. He has like pins in his legs because he was in a really bad accident. But when you put him on a dirt bike, the way he rides standing up. Always. Like he is never he can hit snap turns like standing. How's he doing that? Well, you watch him and it's like, okay, well, he's still getting low and he's pressing on the pegs and he must be doing something with the clutch and throttle, you know, and then you just kind of work it out, and you keep seeing the same maneuvers over and over again, and then you try, you know, you give it a shot, like what you think he's doing, and then you can always ask him later, like, what are you doing when you're running into that, you know, railing that turn, and you were standing the whole time. I had to get down on the bike, and again, when you get down, you're sitting on the seat. Now you're on a trampoline, and that seat's going to come up and hit you in the ass and, you know, throw you up over the bars or whatever. So naturally you want to try and stay, you know, on your standing up and use your legs as another means of suspension and weight distribution or whatever. But yeah, literally you just have to ride with people that are a level or two above.
Yeah, just follow Zen everywhere.
I don't even think he
honestly
sits on that bike.
I'm not, that wasn't a joke. I mean, he's been riding for several years.
I've watched Zen improve greatly.
Yeah, the only thing Zen needs now is a bigger
power.
bike. Yeah,
I told Casey, I'm like, hey,
Jose's bike is fucking gigantic. I don't think I could ride it. I think it's too tall for me. They have short little stubby legs or something, but I tried to get on it.
You gotta worry about that when you're stopped.
Yeah, just don't stop, dude. Don't stop.
Keep going. Don't stop.
But I told Casey, I'm like, hey, I'm bringing my dirt bike. Have Zen teach me how to ride it.
That's awesome. Well, I'm glad you had fun, and you guys got a chance to get it out in the dirt and do some stuff. I'm bummed that I missed it, but I had a busy weekend of Home Depot, and if we had time, we're gonna go to TJ Maxx or whatever the
Bed Bath & Beyond.
Bed Bath & Beyond. I went and saw Little Mermaid on Friday. Took Presley to Little Mermaid.
And how was that? Did you cry?
I didn't cry. It was good. Definitely different.
Is the storyline anywhere near the original? Like,
yeah, 100%. You can follow it, but they definitely had to tweak some things to keep it consistent with the way they were telling the story. Right. There's a song or two that they omitted, and then I think at least two songs that are new.
I don't know any of the songs. So
oh man, great.
Is the crab still a French guy?
He's
Pierre?
Jamaican. So which is interesting because when you think about like a shipwreck, you know, they don't tell you where it's at, but it's more of a Caribbean feel. Yeah. When they go into the village, it's very Caribbean feel, and it kind of, I think it plays better than like the colonial French. I don't know. Anyways, it was worth it. Presley liked it.
It was less oppressive.
Yeah, potentially.
No colonization going on.
Correct. So we didn't get the chance to talk about it last week because stuff, and then but we did stuff and things. But Jose and I did make it out to Overland Expo West, and it was the first Overland Expo West for both of us.
We lost our cherries together.
We totally lost our cherries together. And
I seen photos, and that
seems
seems like
brothers.
That's an interesting turn of phrase there.
I wasn't talking about the show.
There may or may not be some pictures.
some photos in the hotel room.
I was gonna say there may be pictures of Jose and I snuggling in a hotel room someplace. That'll be on our OnlyFriends. Our OnlyFriends page. That's Patreon extras or I rate 4x4 member extras right there.
Exactly.
So I drove out Thursday. Jose drove out Friday, but so I got out there Thursday night. Went to the show first thing in the morning on Friday. I will say, and we talked about this a little bit. I don't know what it was like previously, but the logistics of getting to and from the event from our hotel was dialed in.
Yeah,
they had that dialed.
It was great.
I booked a room. I was like,
how do you mean?
So I ended up.
Who's they?
The expo,
the event.
Overland Expo. So you had to buy. There's limited number of parking on site, and it was sold out. So I wasn't gonna. I didn't plan on camping. I got a hotel, and well, the
elitist
reasons, and then but
you don't even have a job.
I know. And then, but so when I booked the hotel, I'm doing research. I'm like, okay, how am I going to get there? Am I going to have to Uber or whatever? Turns out that I accidentally booked a hotel across the street from Northern Arizona University, and they had shuttle pickups from NAU. So
okay.
you could literally just go across the street, park, and get on the shuttle bus. And the shuttle bus was like every 15 minutes. And it was like they had to have a fleet of 12 chartered buses.
Dude, it's probably like 3 or 4.
It seemed like a lot.
But yeah, you didn't wait more than 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then it was just
dialed in.
bus.
And then on Friday, I went there by myself Friday morning, and I kept watching the phone, and it was like, okay, possible rain, thunder showers right around 11. And so I was walking around talking to people, doing my thing. And like at 10:59, I texted Jason from Outdoor by 4 magazine. I'm like, hey, man, are you guys in your booth? He's like, yeah, we're here. Okay, I'm on my way. Drip, drip, drip. Literally, I took 2 steps under their awning, their ostrich wing awning from Rugged Bound, and the heavens opened up. Thunder, lightning, hail.
That doesn't sound like heaven to me.
20
like
a 20-degree drop. I'm not kidding. 20-degree drop in temperature. Like you could see your breath all of a sudden when it was like 65.
Damn.
Before.
Yeah,
wow.
when I was driving,
brush your teeth.
It was horrible. So I ended up hanging out under the awning with the Outdoor by 4 guys for a while, and then he was pulling into town, and so I just took it as an opportunity to get on the shuttle bus, go back to the hotel, and then change, put some warmer stuff on.
God, dude.
No, I don't want to hear it. Put some warmer stuff on, and then go back to the event. So he and I spent the last half of the day at the event, and then we did all day Saturday and ended up leaving early on Sunday. For those of you that haven't been, it is. How would you explain it, Jose?
I was gonna say I thought it was bigger than it was. I thought it was supposed to be bigger. Like I mean, it was pretty big, but I thought it was like a giant, fairground, like giant fairground size.
It's
pretty big, but I thought it was
bigger than Off-Road Expo at Pomona.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely bigger than Off-Road Expo at Pomona because Pomona, it's got the aisleways, like 3 or 4 of those buildings, but that's it. It's only Off-Road Off-Road Expo is only like half of the Pomona Fairgrounds.
That's true. Okay.
This
is pretty big, dude.
It was big, and it's like a whole section over here.
That's true.
And a whole section over here.
There's
and
like
a whole
4 quadrants.
Yes,
there's
like a center area, and then 4 other peninsulas of booths.
No, it is big because we walked around all day Saturday.
Yeah, half a day on Friday, all day on Saturday.
Yeah,
and I feel like we saw everything. We didn't get the chance to talk to everybody we wanted to talk to.
Yeah, but we definitely went down all the aisles and stuff. There's a lot of cool shit to see there for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get down to the nitty gritty. How was the food court?
Dude, we didn't really eat there.
Yeah, so Friday when I went, Friday we had Del Taco for lunch.
Yes.
And then Saturday,
this sounds like an authentic restaurant local to the area.
It is. It's Flagstaff's own El Del Taco.
Okay. Wow. Go on.
No, but when I went back to the hotel to meet him, I was just like, let's just eat. There's a Del Taco across the street. Let's just eat before we go in. And then Saturday we like, what did we snacked on something? But we did
a couple cookies.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I did a.
I saw that.
I did a video of our cup o' cookies, which was super good. And you're right. That's the only thing we ate.
That's it.
And then until we went to Five Guys afterwards.
It's an interesting diet.
But everything was. I won't say everything. Almost everything was there. There was a handful of new things that we didn't see. I mean, that we didn't know about, that we learned about. You're gonna hear at the end of this. You're gonna hear from. So here's the interviews we got on site. We talked to Uncharted Supply.
Those are the great bags.
Which is a safety survival kit inside of a bag, and it's one of the coolest backpacks I've ever seen. Kick-Ass Products, which is an Australian-based outdoor overland company with a lot of the mostly 12-volt accessories.
My buddy Ray, this weekend, he has a Kick-Ass product on his Tacoma.
Really?
He has, I think, what do you have, Casey? The shower, right?
It looks like a tiny little awning. Yeah, but it's like a shower privacy.
Yeah, the privacy suite.
Yep.
Bottle Jack Buddy, which is affectionately called the BJ Buddy.
BJ Buddy.
And who doesn't need a BJ Buddy?
I had one already on the trip.
Jose and I experienced BJ Buddies for the first time together, and it's So
I'm sorry, I was typing there. Was there an easy joke right there?
100%. You missed it all.
Dude.
Okay.
BJ buddy? Like
Yes.
Yeah, I'll just leave that.
Yeah.
You guys use your imagination.
You dropped the ball.
No, you know what? That's one of those like I'll leave it to the listener. What do you think I would say there? It's like a choose your own adventure in podcast form.
So the Bottle Jack Buddy, you can find them at bottlejackbuddy.com, I think. So we've talked about some of the high lift, and how you're going to die with some of those bigger jacks. Like the Bottle Jack is a very safe way to lift things. So they make an attachment that goes on your Bottle Jack that saddles the axle of a vehicle so that you can lift it safely when you're on the trail. Very cool. Super simple product. Very cool. Jose and I had some ideas for them on ways they could improve it. I have since done those engineering drawings. I did some engineering.
Bottle jack adapters?
Yeah. I did some.
They asked, by the way.
Yeah. So we started talking to them, and they were like, "This is great."
And they talked to you guys.
So I did some drawings for them and sent them over.
Us engineers.
What did you draw? I drew up some stuff, some ideas I
Hey,
had.
Shy says he has a BJ buddy, and he really.
I drew you a Liger.
Put it this way: my drawing and Cody's drawings, they're nothing
I
alike.
was gonna say, Jose, I guarantee you, Jose's probably more profitable.
I don't know about that, but they're definitely hilarious. If I don't even know how to draw one thing well, again, I'll leave that to the listener to decide what that is.
Yes.
So then we talked to.
The show's different when he's like he's the captain, you know. Could have just went on a tirade right there, just a tangent. Go ahead. All right, never mind. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're good. After the BJ
I already
buddy,
upset everybody with my whale comment earlier tonight.
I didn't hear.
It was like it's just a loud guffaw.
Your whale comment.
Hey, listen again. If you don't get it, if you don't remember it now, go back and listen.
I'm gonna have to go back.
No, you're not.
Then we talked to.
It'll come around to you.
Then we talked to the Ladies Off-Road Network, Charlene. She was fantastic. They're doing some amazing, they're building out a whole network to help girls and women get into the outdoor lifestyle, off-roading, overlanding, camp, cooking, all of that stuff. We talked to Nacho Off-Road Lights, and literally, I somehow randomly they popped into my feed, and I was like, I fucking love nachos. Let's go. Maybe they have nachos at their booth. They didn't.
Oh, missed opportunity.
Missed opportunity from the marketing perspective on those guys. But they have some really cool lights that are, you'll hear about it in the interview after this, that are innovative in the way that they use like a single switch and multi-function. Yeah, very cool. We talked to Chuck, a listener. Chuck just randomly walked up when I was talking to us. We did a test drive in a 4Runner and threw the microphone in the face of the guy that worked for Toyota, and he let us do it. And then
a mic.
And then Tim from Real Rigs Rattle found us.
He did.
He totally found us. We were texting back and forth.
Yeah.
So we got, check this out. This was super cool. He's like, hey, I got some stickers for you guys. Here's one for each of you and one for Zen, because I know that he's trying to get his 4Runner built up. So how cool is that?
Oh, that's
how
very
cool was that from Tim to include Zen in that? But I didn't think to grab the mic to talk to Tim, because we were right there having the conversation with Rochelle from Expedition Overland, and then they started. So we were talking to Rochelle, and then they started to do like one of those demo things.
You got one-upped, Tim.
Yeah, totally. You got bumped.
He got big time.
You got big time for Rochelle Croft.
Sorry, Holmes.
Yeah,
I would have found you later. We would have hung out. We would have done some shots. And
I
then
swear,
had an amazing interview.
When we were texting back and forth, it was on my mind, and then I just completely.
Dude, Cody's fucking phone out there sucked balls.
Oh, I was on T Maybe. Everybody called it T Maybe.
It was say Ting or whatever.
He's on that Ting Mobile.
Well, I mean,
I haven't been on Ting in like 2 years.
You're always no matter if you switch to
Verizon.
Is,
you were on Ting 2 years ago. That's what's
Bro,
wrong.
even if you switch to Verizon, I'm still gonna say you're on Ting, no matter what.
It doesn't matter. You can have, a satellite phone.
Yeah, you're gonna
Exactly.
be on Ting, bro.
You're always on Ting now.
Everybody that had trouble was with T-Mobile. Like I couldn't get shit for reception. Shout out to Nicole. I don't know if I've seen her in the chat room, but at one point on Friday,
nothing to do with this.
On one point on
I think
Friday,
she's big timing us now.
yeah,
dude.
she's totally big time.
All of a sudden, new suspension. It's like, who the hell are these guys?
Yeah. At one point on Friday,
She's on the Jeep talk show like all the time.
yeah,
I
I
guess not. She's driving a Ranger. Whatever.
I was walking around and getting ready to go up to one of the booths, and someone we'd interviewed before, and I, for the life of me, could not remember their name, and I couldn't get a signal, and I couldn't get on there. Nicole says, "New suspension, who dis?"
Yeah, exactly. See,
So I couldn't for the life of me pull up the page to figure out the name of this person. So I texted Nicole and I'm like, "Are you in front of your computer? I may need your help." And she was totally willing to help me like research people so I didn't sound like a jackass when I went up to talk to them and not knowing their name. So
yeah, I'm just gonna throw it out there. I'm the worst with names, so I'm sorry. If we've met before, I would be like, "Hey, nice to meet you." You're like, "What the fuck are you talking about? We met like 4 times already."
well, and it's understandable, but
I'm good with faces. Like, obviously, I'll recognize you if we've met before. I'm shitty with names, dude.
Yeah, no,
It's like you're literally, I'm shaking your hand, and you're telling me your name, and it's like, whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm sorry.
yeah.
I'm kind of an idiot.
I think there's a lot of idiocy on this call right now. So but we walking around there, I think the thing that struck me the most, and we talked about it a little bit on Saturday, was
What recession, right?
well, yeah. Well, one is just the money, but two, walking around there, it was very validating, if that's the right word. As we're walking around, it was like fist bump this person, talk to that person. Hey, how you doing, man? Like
Yeah, it was
every
like,
fourth or fifth booth, we had some connection. We'd interviewed before, or gone wheeling with, or done very much oh wow, like for the first time. We're now how many years into this? For the first time, as we walked around that event, I was like, I think we might belong here. Like
It was like our Black Swan moment, right?
I don't know.
I don't know what that means.
Like like the best show, right? And then we die.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Oh shit!
That's about accurate.
Wow.
That's about
wow.
accurate. No,
Isn't that what happened in the movie? She dies.
I just remember the Mila
Yeah.
Kunis,
Yeah.
Natalie Portman scene. That's
What scene? Was
I don't it just felt really good to be able to walk around the show and talk to people that we knew and that we've interviewed and that we've interacted with, and like, as big as that show was, it kind of shrunk the community a little bit to be able to, go up and shake people's hands and catch up with them on some things. We ran into the guys from Mountain Hatch. We haven't seen them in forever.
I think it was validating.
It was. It felt.
Like,
it
was
felt
like,
really
oh,
good.
shit! Like we've actually we worked our ass. Well,
Yeah.
We put in the time.
Yeah.
For sure. And we're like, fuck, dude, we've interviewed a lot of people, a lot of the big names in this industry.
We ran into Lee Lim from Solve Function, talked to him for a while. I mean, there's a ton of people that we didn't interview, but we at least talked to.
Mike with Shower Pouch was there, and we.
We missed him, huh?
Yeah. Well, you were walking or talking with someone else, a long discussion, and then we didn't get. We were right there, but
talked to the guys from Tread Lightly.
Chase Gentry,
Overland Campers. I mean, Jillian, Rebecca. We Sean Holman's from Truck Show. Like we got to like really talk to a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Not everybody was on the mic, but I felt like at the end it was funny. Jose convinced me to have that cup of cookies at 10:30 in the morning. I didn't want them. I wanted something else completely. That wasn't my choice.
He wanted a cup of brownies.
Yes.
But we were so like on the whole time, talking, meeting, hanging out, doing stuff. We didn't really stop to eat. We didn't really think about it.
Dude, like we're on the move. Like we were talking the whole day.
Yeah, and then when it was like, okay, it's time to go. We got in the shuttle bus, and as soon as I got in the shuttle bus, it was like I just crashed. I was so exhausted, we talked about going out to dinner with a couple people that night, and we were just like, no, dude,
that.
let's get some burgers and go back to the room. And that's what we did. We just ended up hanging out. For anybody that's considering going, I talked to a guy about this morning. He asked, is it worth it for just like a regular civilian that's not trying to get content? It would be, it's right in line with any other festival or fair or whatever that's going to have everything you can imagine in the space. Everything from the smallest trinkets to $1 million rigs.
Yeah.
No shit, $1 million trucks was
Giant
there.
earth
Giant earth roamers. And everything in between. So if you're like,
I think I would put it this way: if you have a plan, like a build out plan for your rig, and you don't know what the fuck there's too many options.
You want to put hands on stuff?
Yeah, you go to this show because all that shit's gonna be there, and you get to like see it, touch it.
yeah,
you get to like see it on a potentially the truck, the same vehicle that you're doing, and you get to talk to the people that create it, and they'll more than gladly take 5-10 minutes to talk to you about their product. But yeah, like I think that's this. Like you don't have to be in media to go to the show. If you have if you're gonna build out something, yeah, you should definitely go to the show because you get to put hands on everything.
yeah, perfect.
Is it if you're in the Southern California area, and you're gonna have a similar show in Pomona? Is it worth driving to Flagstaff?
It's not the same. It's not the same show.
Because this is a very niche.
Okay, elaborate.
So this is Overland Expo, and it is very Overland specific. Like it's very, if you're gonna outfit your vehicle to live and breathe out of it and sleep and cook, and
if you're gonna build the Swiss Army knife of trucks, this is where you want to go.
Whereas, and one thing that I don't recall seeing that I've seen at off-road expos and definitely at SEMA is the over the tops, the bro dozers, the vehicle that you're like, that's dumb, no one's ever going to take that off-roading. This was all very like, that's a badass off-road vehicle, like that's a overland truck, very functional, very real world, very in tune with what overlanding is, and yes, I'd say 60 to 75% of the people that were at Overland, I mean, maybe 50 to 60% of the people at Overland Expo will also be at an off-road expo. So it's going to be similar. But there's things at Off-Road Expo that just don't translate to the everyday.
So it's very overlanding centric.
It's nothing
100% over to the point where if it was to the point where like if there was something there that was brodozery, it would have been called out. Like it would have been everybody. There would have been nobody. It would have been the plague, and everybody would have avoided it. Everything there was very functional, very real. We had a good long conversation with the guys from Honda about the Pilot and the.
No, you didn't.
I swear to God, we did. And I tried to get him on mic, and I tried to get him.
They're very corporate about it, though.
I tried to get him on mic or get him to come on the show, and they're like, "Well, we're gonna have to talk to our director of marketing."
Oh my God!
Yeah, dude, but these guys were like,
they were
they had collared shirts on.
They had polos.
They had polos.
Oh yeah, polos, matching polos.
These two guys, and damn it, we're gonna have to find out who they are, Jose, because I can't remember. Do you have their cards? Did they?
Bro, I just told you, fucking, I'm as I'm meeting you, you're telling me your name. I don't remember.
Didn't they give you cards?
No, they didn't give me any cards.
Oh, I gave them our cards. Anyways, these guys.
We'll never hear from
these are the guys that were directly responsible.
Wait a minute, whoa. We just talked about how if you had a brodozer, you'd be ostracized, and Honda shows up. They were not ostracized at an overlanding event.
Because
come on,
no.
I've never seen
it's a viable option for some people.
Is it,
dude?
Where are they at? Never seen one. Not one time.
What's Pilot Trail Edition?
It's Trail something. Trail Sport. So these are the two guys that spearheaded the Trail Sport trim on the Pilot and the Ridgeline, and they're legit. They legit wanted to make this vehicle off-road capable. You could tell.
Polaris has an off-road capable.
Oh, we'll talk.
Yeah, we're gonna get that. We're gonna get to that too.
You mean the 2024 Suzuki Samurai? Weren't you the one that sent it?
No, someone sent it.
It was Casey. Must have been somebody sent one in the chat.
No.
In our group chat. But you could tell these guys wanted to make it viable. They know their lane. They're not trying to get out of that lane, but they're definitely pushing to to get Honda some credibility on the dirt because of the legacy that they've built in the dirt on their trucks. On their bikes, on their side-by-sides, on their other stuff. Why not capitalize and expand that legacy in the vehicles, which is, one of their primary.
Matt, imagine you and I worked at Honda, like
Yes.
off-road R&D, and we had all these fucking plans, right? Like, dude, this fucking pilot's going to be the shit. And then corporate Honda's like, no, you can't do that. It has to be, like, very vanilla.
Yeah.
That's what they ultimately, like, ended with, right? Whatever the current trail fucking. But they wanted so much more, but they can't.
And the Trail Sport Ridgeline and
So again, ostracized. Like,
no, because it is a viable.
Take this off road. You fucking take it off road. Like, take this side by side. I put a goddamn tent on it, and you take it off road.
That pilot's right there with a Subaru Outback.
Yeah,
100%.
Or
the Pilot, the Ridgeline, those Hondas are legitimate overland adventure vehicles in the way that overland is defined today.
Yeah, I mean, technically anything.
Well, how much money did they pay you, and where's my cut?
I got a CRF 300 for free.
Yeah.
I got a nice dirt bike. Yeah, great. I would be more if they tried to put a tent on a dirt bike. I'd be like, oh fuck, look at Honda getting out there trying to put out some shit on the thing they're known for. Like, they're known for dirt bikes.
Fucking A.
Did we talk about the Polaris Overlander last weekend?
No, we did not.
So Polaris launched.
I tried to shift the change the subject that way, and you guys would not let me.
Polaris launched an Overland side by side.
It has a fucking tent on the top
with a fully enclosed air conditioning, a tent, the whole thing for $420 billion. Like
it's like $45,000.
Yes, it is the price of a JL. It's the price of a Jeep, and you still need a trailer, and you still need a truck, and you still have to go in and out. You can't just start here and end there.
You can't drive it on every trail.
No, it can't drive it on every trail. You can drive it on like 2 streets in Arizona because it's the Wild West there. Look, there is absolutely. I got to imagine that Polaris would not have launched this if they didn't think that there was a market there. I just don't know who's in that market.
Suzuki did it 30 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody with enough money to be in that market.
Look, people spend money. I don't know where it comes from. So maybe there is a market for it. But, again, it goes back to Honda. I've not seen a Honda off-roading, period.
Go to John DZ.
I'm talking about real life.
On Instagram. Matter of fact, John, I know you're not listening.
On YouTube.
These what?
John, I think it's John DZ, and I've asked him to come on the show.
John Dizzy, yeah, he's been wheeling a Honda.
And
that's why he's so busy.
He's big timing me, man. He's too good for our show. It's John JONDZ Adventuring.
I'm talking about just real life. Like, I'm not saying I wheel a ton, but it's been a number of years now. I have never seen a Honda on the dirt.
We saw those Subarus out there.
This dude, John
I said
DZ,
a Honda on the
everywhere.
Dirt. Subarus, I've seen plenty. Like, if you want to argue about Subarus, well, that's a legitimate argument. I've seen them out on the trails at that Pilot Rock Road that one time was like,
I think that's
super sketchy. They were out there doing their thing. I have not seen one Honda Pilot, Ridgeline, nothing.
But I think that's what the trail
Honda
sport...
450 is what I've seen. I've seen a shit ton of those, and those are great. Bikes.
I think that's what the trail sport version is supposed to be. It's to start that conversation, is to get them out there. John DZ _adventuring on Instagram has a really nice Pilot, and he wheels with another buddy that's got a Ridgeline. They do awesome shit, and I would love to get them on the show to talk about it, but they're big timing me. So if anybody knows John DZ, dude, they drive Hondas. They're too good for us.
Very elitist.
No, I sent him a message about a month ago, maybe a little longer, and I haven't heard back. So if anybody knows John, tell him we were talking about him. I don't see the appeal of a side-by-side overland. I mean, you're not Are you gonna?
What if Honda came out with a side by side? Would you be pro Honda?
Absolutely not.
At that point,
Cody works for Honda. You guys
yeah, that's what I just saw.
Look, if Honda's hiring, I would
but see, with those side by sides, the financing's different. So the barrier to entry is lower with those vehicles. You can finance them for like 20 years, right? Those things.
Fuck, I don't know. Man.
What?
Side by sides? They're like those fucking like. Don't you take out like a recreational vehicle loan and like?
That's for an RV.
Yeah,
like,
but
and you can register that as like with an address.
Yeah, but you go to Bass Pro Shop and you look at these fucking boats and it's like only $80 a month for like 1,000 months.
With $20,000 down.
Hey, and you transfer that loan to your kids.
Yeah,
when you're dead.
I'm just saying, like the financing's different on these fucking toys. People finance them 15 years.
I don't know. Look, on the Polaris website, the 4-door is $45,000, and it says it's $661 a month.
I need to ask for a raise. Obviously, some fucked up shit going on. Like, there's no fucking way.
I call bullshit.
Like, what am I doing if I can't afford? Like, that's my argument. Look, guys, you don't pay me enough to afford this fucking crazy ass shit. Like, what the fuck? Apparently, this is what I should be able to afford.
I'm just saying, if you're going to drop $45K on a side-by-side, you still need a trailer.
And a truck.
You still need a truck. By the time you get the trailer and the truck, you're 120 in, and you can't drive that side-by-side anywhere.
Where am I gonna put my refrigerator? Can you put your refrigerator on that thing?
I don't know.
No. Where are you supposed to put all your firewood for campfires and such?
Yeah.
And it's going to be a less capable side-by-side than if you got, a Can-Am or something like that. It's like,
yeah.
So for $45K,
it's a golf cart.
What would you get instead of the
anything?
Yeah, there's no wrong answer.
Anything.
A Honda Pilot Trail.
A base Frontier is less than $45K.
I'll buy Matt's Frontier.
Yeah,
and just put $150 of sensors in it. And I'm
$45K.
Matt will sell it to you for $5,000 right now.
$45K, Jose. You can have my Frontier.
I would honestly get anything.
Yeah, like there's no wrong answer other than if you buy that fucking Polaris.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, Polaris, look, if you want to sponsor the show, we'll change our tune. But I don't see it. we're not above.
Next week, we're like, Polaris. The best vehicle
brought
ever
to you
made.
by Polaris.
You know what I'd like to do is I'd like to apologize to my Polaris overlords. They're amazing vehicles.
No, I'm going to be
and
like...
the AC works great.
No, I'm just going to be sitting here like, in Wayne's World when he's in all that
Reebok.
Yeah,
the Reebok.
Yeah.
You guys just don't get it.
It's like people only say
it's
things.
Like people only do stuff if they're getting paid, and that's just really sad.
But overall, like, and outside of the fairgrounds is all of the camping. Like, it's camping all the way around. And I would love to do Expo next year, take the RV out, stage the RV with a couple vehicles around it, and just have a 3-day party. Like, drive out on Thursday, be there Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, drive home on Sunday. The only thing is, like, it was Jose and I on the way home, 80 miles an hour, cruise control the whole way, and it was still 6.5 hours.
Woo!
Hey, Flagstaff, I mean, look, I only saw this fucking Hilton and the parking lot of the Northern Arizona but Flagstaff looks beautiful from what I saw.
We stopped off, we jumped off the freeway, and we were, like, had a conversation about how green and beautiful it looked up there in Flagstaff. Like, it wasn't the Arizona that you're used to seeing, like that you picture in your head that we've been to before. I definitely want to see what trails are available in that area. And the 6 hours. Okay, but I was just gonna say the 6.5 hour drive wasn't that bad.
The way there fucking sucked. The way coming back home, it was nothing, dude.
Yeah, the way there, because I left around noon, and I got 3/4 of the way there and hit tons of weather. I hit baseball-sized water droplets coming down on the freeway, and the 40 when you get out into Arizona might as well be a dirt road.
Sounds amazing.
It
an
was
amazing commute.
There ain't shit like the 40 bros like were dreams go to die.
No, I'm just saying, like they did,
like nothing there. Dude.
Those
Can I bring my nightmares? Those kill those. Is that how that works?
The potholes on the 40 have been there
Bring
since
your
1985.
No,
Yeah,
that's
bring your
where
nightmares.
nightmares are born, dude. The 40.
Oh shit! Yeah, no, that doesn't sound. You're not making it sound any
Like
better.
you get in your own head, you're like, what am I doing with my life? Like,
No, dude, I was audiobooking it. I was
Oh,
audiobooking it the whole time. But I do think that
I commute like 2+ hours a day, Jose. I already deal with that shit. I don't
but
need like
this is
6
a solid,
straight hours.
Yeah, but at least you're like, oh, look at that car over there. Oh, look, that's a nice.
Look at that car.
Here it's like there's
man.
nothing, dude. You're in a fucking tunnel, a dirt tunnel, and you're just
Wait, here? What are you talking
on
about?
the 40. Like I'm just saying, like there's nothing. Like there's nothing. You don't see anything.
No, I know. I've been to Flagstaff. I've spent time in Flagstaff. It's beautiful.
What are you doing over there?
It's none of your business, Jose. I didn't know you. I didn't know you in those days. I knew different people.
You're looking for those vortices, huh?
I did. I had to go look. Well, look. That was an interesting time in my life, and maybe I did some things that I regret. Was it worth it?
Matt.
Was it worth it?
Yes.
Yes, it was. It was worth it.
But I'm thinking that
And I'm okay with that.
That 6.5 hour mark from here to Flagstaff to St. George or Mesquite, Nevada to
St. George is beautiful.
To Bishop Mammoth. That needs to start becoming in our realm. Like
that should be the radius.
That we've been doing
Johnson
4-hour
Valley
trips.
And Anza's probably the furthest we go, and that's 2.5.
We did Parker. Well, I mean, most of us did Parker. We did Parker.
You
Arizona.
remember Parker, right, Jose? What an amazing trip
Parker
that was.
and Mojave. That's
it was probably the best trip.
8 hours to get out there one time.
Parker, the best trip.
That's what we were saying when we were talking about this trip. We were like, it took over 6 hours to get to the Avi on Memorial Day week.
It took me 12 hours to get to the fucking Avi, dude. So I don't have.
You should have taken Mojave Trail. Would have been quicker.
I left before Adam, and he fucking got there before me.
Yeah.
How does that work?
So I really think that we need to push like Prescott. I'm sorry, because they don't say Prescott. Sedona, Flagstaff,
California elitism right there.
St. George, Tonopah, Alabama Hills. Like that really needs to be our next push to something about 6 to 8 hours away from here.
Matt, are there any superchargers up to 395?
Yeah, I'll have to do some research about that. I'm sure, I'm sure where there's a will, there's a way. And so if you have to carry a generator for me, preferably something that kicked out like 240 volts.
Oh,
it would make things a lot easier.
Level 2 or level 3 charging. Huh?
I need level 2 charging.
You'll really be saving money.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to take me a week to get out there.
It's like Casey and his truck. The further the trips are, the more MPGs he gets, the more money he saves.
Yeah.
So we just have to go on these super long
trips.
trips.
Wow. No, that's a great way to think about
it. So
hey, I could have made it to Parker in the Tesla and then just charged that bitch at fucking Walmart like 10 minutes away.
Perry is basically calling us out because he drove 9 hours to come to our event, and we're bitching about 6 hours.
Like he said, we offered to stay the night because it was fucked up, dude. We're like, we called an audible, we called an Omaha, but like, hey, dude, we're not staying here. You need to go home now. 10 hours.
You know what? I'm sorry, Perry. I should have offered my house. Like, why don't you just come down? We'll hang out in the pool tomorrow. That probably would have been the right move.
That would have added like 8 hours to his fucking trip.
Lee, just to offer.
Lee, I have not done Valley of the Moon. We tried to do a trip down there at one point, but it seems like it's a 1 day trip. It's in San Diego.
It's a 1 day trip.
It's like you go down there. It was like a 12-mile.
Sounds like the latest Fast and Furious movie.
Yeah, Valley of the Moon.
Yeah,
the movie gets crazy, dude.
No.
And then Jason is saying that we can stay at his house when we come out to Phoenix, when we come out to Arizona.
Are you sure about that?
I don't know. He says you can crash at the cooler. I'm assuming that's what he's calling his house.
I like Betty White says, yeah, a Honda generator. Exactly, dude. Exactly. That's the most effective off-road piece of equipment Honda offers is their fucking generator. Their overpriced generator. Nobody wants to use anymore.
That's for you when you go up to
so that's what
they were get the Predator.
No, they were saying look,
whatchamacallit,
Mark
dude.
is saying he'll bring a Honda generator.
Yeah.
Turn it on. He'll tow you behind him, and you can charge while you're going.
Just put some all trains on that thing. Let's go, dude.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, what options do I have, right?
Anyways, the Off-Road Expo was worth it. Like it was like $80 for a weekend pass, and you know, if I think it's like $300 if you camp though. So
it's I don't know.
The camping was expensive. I remember seeing, and the part of the reason I ended up just getting a hotel was because between Tammy's discounts and Hilton Honors points and stuff, I was able to get it for a significant.
Braggy McBrag.
I'm not Braggy
That's
McBrag.
like, hey, dude, you had me at, hey, let's go.
Yeah.
You don't have to fucking try to wine and dine me at this Hilton.
No, he did though, and it worked.
He did. He fucking. It was a good trip.
It was a good trip. Everybody came back relaxed.
Let's just say I got a look. I got a BJ buddy at Overland Expo, right?
Yeah. And hopefully there's another one next year.
And Poppy Cherry.
But anyways, it was absolutely worth the trip, and I'd like to go back next year. The next one is in July at Pacific Northwest, and I looked at every possible way for us to do that, but it's a 2-day drive no matter how you slice it. It would be
that's rough.
It's a 2-day drive or like a $600 flight. And it was like, I think $450 was the cheapest I found, and I was like, nah, not doing it. Not worth it. We'll just we'll do Expo West.
We're just regional guys. That's it. You know, we're a 6-hour window. Like that's what we can do.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Pacific Northwest is going to be the it's going to overtake all the other ones now.
So if they continue to do it at that place they did it last year, yes, because it's huge. It's a very big place. I feel like the outdoor overland vibe in the Pacific Northwest, especially in Bend, Central Oregon, it rivals Southern California. I think the only way they would make it
Oregon decriminalized all drugs, so
true.
Yeah, it's ready to go.
Thank you, Jose.
Yeah,
you know what? I'm glad you brought that up.
I'm just stating facts here.
You are. Very
if
good.
they did an Overland Expo here in Southern California,
I think
it would be bigger than Flagstaff.
It depends where, though.
So let's organize that. Why can't we do
anywhere in Southern California?
They could do it at the Fairplex, just like Off-Road Expo.
No, it has to be it would have to be like Big Bear, dude, like in that Holcomb Valley campground.
It's not big enough.
All of Holcomb Valley, like the entire valley.
No, he's talking about just that campground.
Just snap, dude. There's like 4 ways in there. You put gates up. Just start charging fools to get in there. It's just like a bunch of like easy ups. The entire 3 and 16, 3 and 14, all those 3 in whatevers.
What about where they do TDS?
Akatia Wells?
Yeah, I was gonna say it either has to be Big Bear or Anza. Like
but Anza and Akatia Wells has the whole
Anza's like right off the highway too. It's easy setup.
But at that point you're rolling in a King of the Hammer style generator type. There's no land power. There's no water. There's no nothing. Right? At least
overlanding. You should.
But I'm saying,
you're talking about Flagstaff, and you're comparing like.
Oh, this was a full camp with bathrooms and.
Okay, the bathrooms were porta potties. It's not like they were fucking hard.
They had other bathrooms there.
All the fucking pisses I took were in porta potties.
Yeah,
all the pisses I took.
All right, whatever. But I definitely
got all mad because you had to talk about where you pissed.
No, I'm not gonna. I just wasn't gonna argue.
Look, I had to piss.
He's absolutely right. Every pee we took was in a porta potty. So,
yes.
But there was other bathrooms there. I want to go next year, so we need to figure out how to go next year, and it would be cool. What we'll do is those interviews we talked about, we'll clip those in at the end of this show. with those people, and so listen to some of those conversations are really good.
Yeah, 5-hour episode. Tonight.
Breaking news on the rumor mill.
Oh,
Pacific Northwest Overland Rally might not be in Oregon this year or next year.
That's like Washington then.
Where's it gonna be? Idaho.
Idaho's a huge
Idaho.
outdoeur
Coeur d'Alene. No. Oh, Boise.
Oh, I don't know where it would be outside of
Boise.
Yeah. My niece goes to Boise State, and she said you don't say Boise. The minute you say Boise, they know you're from California.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it a point if I ever
I
go to
would be
Boise.
like Boise with
look,
a Z.
It's Boise, Idaho, right? Fuckers.
Listen, you 500,000 people. How you pronounce it? The rest of the country, Boise.
But I don't know. I'm glad we went. Thank you, Jose, for
derailing the show.
Yeah,
Thanks.
for coming out to Expo.
Oh yeah, and derailing the show.
It was.
I thank you for that.
Yes,
I thank you for derailing the show. He is thankful for your contributions.
Everybody, thank you, everybody.
I didn't really do much. I kind of stayed quiet the whole time.
I didn't even know you were there for like the first fucking 2 days.
I was like the creepy guy in the corner, you know.
Did you like?
No,
I didn't even think like, who's taking all these pictures of Cody?
That's so funny, Casey. Yeah, because it was like Saturday night or something, and Casey's like, "Wait, are you at Expo?"
Because Cody was posting all these pictures. There's someone who's posted all these pictures of Cody with the people, and then all of a sudden there was one with Jose. Wait a minute.
Like,
when the fuck did you get?
Oh shit, Jose's there.
This was very last minute. It was very last minute.
It was.
I thought Cody just keeps saying, "Hey, could you take a picture of us?"
It was I put the timer on my phone and just chucked my phone in the air while I was having a conversation with something. We need to all put it on our calendars to go next year. I think it'd be a good opportunity for us. Thanks to the Express Rally Overland guys for coming on the show and making us look terrible as they usually do every time we talk to them.
That fucking bar is set, huh?
Yeah, I know.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's a they do they do good work. They do good things.
It's definitely a premium product. You come to us, we're like the spam of the meat world.
Apparently, we're like the Velveeta cheese of the fucking.
Yeah, we're spam and Velveeta.
Yeah. Ooh. That doesn't sound bad to me.
Good,
yeah, it sounds pretty good. I'd eat that.
Okay, we'll have to try it. Next camp trip, you're going to make spam and Velveeta.
Can I grill the spam?
100%. Well,
oh yeah,
I would put on a skillet. Yeah. Right, slice it, put it on a skillet.
Yeah.
I've never actually eaten spam.
I have.
It's delicious.
I've never tried it.
It actually is.
So
it's good.
It wasn't allowed in our house. It was not allowed in our house growing up.
I wonder why.
Casey, am I wrong, Casey?
Same thing as rice.
No, you're right.
It's the exact same thing.
Oh no, that's a fact.
It's the exact same thing as white rice. It was not allowed in our house.
Why not?
Because my father made a decision in 1960 something that he was never going to look at that or eat that stuff again.
Yeah.
And that was the decision that was made.
I couldn't imagine my house. I could not imagine my house without rice. Like that was like,
dude, it's
one of the
it's my favorite thing.
Only white rice. Only white rice.
Maybe rice is absolutely one of my favorite. I'll just make some rice for lunch. Like it's
Mom used to make Spanish rice all the time.
Yeah,
that was okay.
Well, but it.
Yeah, now
Spanish rice.
So Spanish rice was your token rice?
But what you're saying is Spanish rice.
It was just white rice with ketchup.
No. What you're thinking is Spanish rice is Spanish rice. What my mom made was not Spanish rice.
Exactly.
It was very different.
It was white rice with orange food coloring.
It had
and ground beef.
It had peppers and
that's not rice.
It had all kinds of stuff. I remember the first time I went to a woman that I used to be involved with house. And they were like making rice, and I was like,
"What's all that?"
I'm like, and they made the regular like Spanish rice, and I was like,
"What is that?"
Huh? And I ate it, and
That's
I was
not
like,
how you make it.
"This is the most amazing thing I've ever eaten in my life." Mm-hmm. My ex-mother-in-law would make pots of rice, Mexican rice, and just leave it in the fridge for me, so that when I came over, I could eat it because I was the only one in the house that would eat it. I love rice.
Do you still have contacts with her? Can she
I
still
do
make
not.
that rice?
I do not. I have not had contacts with.
Sideways, like you just
Nope.
bypass the person that you don't want to talk to.
I may lose a lot of followers for what I'm about to say.
Oh, don't do it.
But
do
I
it. Fuck
prefer
it.
white rice over Mexican
Ah,
rice.
Jesus Christ.
How
dare you?
Okay,
bland
probably because you grew up with it.
Yes, but
And that's what my ex would say. She was like, "Why are you eating that?" I'm like, "It's the most amazing thing I've ever eaten in my life." And she's like, "Literally, that's all we ate for the first 15 years of our lives."
yeah, but my mom would always make both, like one
Oh,
meal,
really?
one meal white rice, or depending what the meal was. But
Mhm.
I always preferred the white rice over the Mexican rice.
I love them equally, and I'll even do white rice with teriyaki or white rice with butter, or
Sure.
you know, like you can mix all. How do we get the F on rice for
don't
our
know.
topic?
Jose.
So if you come to one of our events, instead of getting bloomin' onions, you'll just get a pot of rice. Like that's
Yeah,
what you get.
I'll make
Oh,
it.
there you go.
It's easy.
There
yeah,
you go.
Yeah,
I make it, like 3 times a week.
yeah.
The rice cooker does. It's
Yeah.
just water.
Yeah, I love rice. And Lee seems to approve of our conversation about rice. I don't know why that is. But he says, Jose, try the rice at Cuatro Milpas in San Diego and some flour tortillas.
Is that the restaurant with the blue tiles on the outside? If it is, like
I've heard about that place. Like
then,
the best tacos ever.
Let's go.
they had those. I don't know. There's a place in Old Town San Diego where, well, there's a lot of places like restaurants down there, but there's one place while you're waiting, they give you like tortillas, handmade tortillas with butter on them. Have you guys had that?
Ooh, yes.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yes.
the best.
Have you ever had a cinnamon burrito?
Wait, that's your,
Casey,
Is that a
that's your
euphemism?
mom,
Casey,
made?
Casey, right? Casey, dude, seriously, tortilla. This
How do
is
I answer this?
this is as gringo as gringo can be. You just a tortilla with some butter and cinnamon, like you were making cinnamon toast. Put it in the microwave for like 15, 20 seconds and roll it up and eat it. It is amazing. It was like dessert for us. Basically, cinnamon tortilla is just, it was so good.
It's like a poor man's churro.
Yes, 100%.
It's like an uncooked churro.
Yeah,
It's an unfried churro.
Yes, it's the whitro. It's a white churro. So, all right. Well, now that we're done with rice talk, thanks for listening. I'm gonna label this episode as rice talk.
Rice talk.
Thanks for listening to Rice Talk, and thanks to Express Rally for coming on to the show, and thanks to everybody in the chat room for hanging out with us. We will talk to you guys next week.